Are y'all there? I pushed the weird wrong button. Can everybody see me? Can everybody hear me? Leland Field, C-Man, chat member, can you hear me? Let's establish that you guys can hear me before I make my announcement, and then I'll bring some guests on. Brand New American, can you hear me? It was weird. It started, it didn't do, okay, cool. B for Baron, thank you. Louis, channel member, Brand New American, channel member. Hey man, good to see you. D Metal, I haven't scrolled up. Crispy Critter, channel member. I was going to start off. Tony Boombox was here early. Nice to see you, buddy. I was going to start off tonight with a little channel news and then a little disclaimer and then just get into talking about all kinds of cool, nice shit. See how y'all's week was, see how everybody's doing. But let me grab something as a visual aid. Give me 2 seconds of awkward silence. We've already been through 10. Did y'all hear that? That was tragedy narrowly averted. So what I wanted to show y'all first, some channel news. You know what that is? Those are giveaway knives that shipped today, guys. I got everybody's knife shipped today except for G-Ball, who's a slacker, who sent me his email address or his physical address after I went. So he's boxed up, ready to go tomorrow. We got to keep an eye out for Brother Dang Ross because I've got to find him, his address, and one of the earlier ones that I've waited on, Scott N. I know we can all get in touch with him. I'll reach out to him via Instagram if I can't see him tonight. But you guys do not know what weight has been lifted off my shoulders to have. And I'll get you guys tracking numbers because they should all be coming UPS. They'll all get to you next week. The only exception to that is Kyle Coonley. I've got to get in touch with him. I'm shipping him, Brand New American, who's actually got two knives coming. He won one earlier that somebody gifted him. I think he won that one. And then I've got to send Kyle Coonley the Kaiser, uh, what's it called? Lot Van Mini. Kyle Coonley's going to put an edge on it and ship it on to Brand New American. But guys, that has just felt. Joe Isabella, what's up? Gone awry, what's up? But I feel like a champ. I can do a giveaway with a clear conscience. I'll never let them get away from me again because it was painful. I thought about it every day. And when you guys get them, I think there's one that's in the same maker's box. I finally said, fuck it. I'm going to put them in boxes. They're all new knives. Everybody will be happy. And then, real quickly, the second thing I want to say is I want to apologize. I want the future me wants to apologize. Mayor Salt, channel member, what's up? Brand New American, what is up, buddy? I don't know if you're here, but you got knives coming your way. Um, I want to. The future me wants to apologize because what I'll do on this live is I'll bring my friends on. We'll talk. We'll get to carrying on. I don't always. I've got ADHD. I always say that I'm not leaning on it as a crutch. I look at it as a gift. I have short attention span. I'll blurt out stuff. I don't think it's Tourette syndrome, but it's Tourette's like qualities. So my point for this is I just want everyone to know whatever I say in any of my lives, the intention is never to offend anyone. People who are here, people who are not here. I'll work with love. If they're people that I want to offend, I will say it because I will always be authentic, but it's nothing that I wouldn't walk to them in Atlanta. Joe Isabella, new channel member, thank you. Guess what I've got, guys? And I think it's cheesy, but it's probably due. Where did I put my? Here it is. I am going to be authentic. I'm going to say what I feel, but I'm going to do it in a very good way I'm going to try to leave a lot of elements out of the conversations, unless y'all bring them up, because I'm only here for you guys. So I say all that because I don't want to offend anybody. I know that I say stupid shit. I try not to go back and ever watch my stuff, but I have because I've talked to some really good friends in the community, some that weren't that happy with me, and I went back to kind of see what I could do better, right? And I do. I will say some really stupid shit, but I don't do it intentionally. And hopefully, the people that are new here, I totally appreciate y'all. Mark H, what's up, buddy? And the people that know me hopefully know that my heart's always pure. I go forward with kindness, right? I never want to come off as an asshole. With that being said, I can't even get to my sound effects because I'm being forced to watch an ad. How obnoxious is this? Then I'm going to bring on our brother Dark Gravity. We'll go ahead and bring him up. Dick Winkle. I don't want to offend anybody, not even Dark Gravity.
I don't give a shit if I offend people.
I know. And it's just, one of those things that I want at least this little corner of the week, because my week was fucking shitty. Brand New American says, hey, bro, can you read the chats? I forget.
Yeah, I can read them. What's up, Z-Man? Brand New American, Joe, Mark, Herrera, looks like is on there. Crispy Critters, what's up?
I got to find a good sound effect for my new member.
I think I said Joe.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, that's loud as hell.
Well, it's just Joe Isabella became a member, and I'm trying to find the one. Louis, your package also didn't go out. It's going to go out tomorrow. Grateful Panic's working till 10:30 tonight, and we want to do something extra for you that you'd sent an email about. So your package will go out tomorrow. And then when we find Dang Ross, keep going, buddy. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. D Metal, Leland, JuhVon.
JuhVon is glad to be here, dude. Ed, what's up? Dwayne Letterman, what's up? Crispy Critter, what is up? Channel member. Ed's a channel member. Glad to have all y'all here. If y'all are just getting here, JuhVon has the weight of the world lifted off of him. He shipped out 90% of the giveaway knives today. I've been walking around with the badge of honor. Where did I put it? Where did I put my list, Tad?
I don't know. I ain't at your house.
Well, guys, I've got a list. I might have taken it back over there that I'm going to tonight. I'm going to scan tracking numbers into everybody, but it's like a deck of cards. I probably shipped out 15 packages today, and I've got a few more where I've got to track down a couple of people. And I mean, to know that I've been hosting giveaways and knives have been piling up on my end table, I have felt like the biggest slicey. And I don't like I was saying, I don't know if you heard that, my little preamble where the future me was apologizing for people that I might offend, because I'm not here to do that. I don't want to ever trigger, spark, make anybody mad. And I'll say stupid shit. Jack's Lungs, what is up, Jake? But I will look what I'm sitting on. Look what I'm sitting on.
Really?
Those are all UPS.
I heard you little speak about not offending people. That's the reason I come on. First thing I said was, I don't give a damn if I offend people or not.
The way I look at it, people that know me and love me, I hope at Blade Show, if you just don't come up and cold punch me, because I'm kind of a smaller guy, but don't let that fool you, because I was a badass and still know how to protect myself. But I just hope people come up and say, hey, John, when you said that night, that really offended me. I've had people send me emails, and I appreciate it, because I think if somebody said that to me or in the live, I might take it the wrong way. I might. I'm not, I try not to. I try to think that I don't because I get so many comments hateful comments. It's fine. I get it. It's part of it. But I just never want to hurt anybody. And what I did do is I came in here before you started my little countdown, went live. It flashed me for a second, gave me a message that my video couldn't be played, and then shut my computer down. So I had to log back in, enter my live that had just been blank. I don't know if it was just a background here. I know it didn't have a picture of the background here because the camera was out, the mic was out. So we had like a 30-second snafu before I even came out and said, hey guys, this is what's going on. But we've got some cool stuff to talk about tonight. I didn't even tell Dark Gravity, but I'm going to show you guys my 3 biggest folders. And today when I was shipping, what made me think about it was I was shipping, and a lot of y'all are going to get knives in Tucson boxes. That was slowing me down. I OCD'd and looked for boxes that went with knives. It would have taken another 3 months. I don't have it. I want to have a clear conscience by the end of the weekend, because tomorrow, if I ship Dang Ross, Scott N, Leland Phil with his extras, and now that I've got G-Ball already labeled up, I'll be done with it. Absolutely done with all these. And I should have done it. I'll never let it get ahead of me again. Kyle Coonley, the man I wanted to talk to. Good to see you. I shipped you today, buddy. I shipped you today, and I shipped everybody today, with the exception of just a few that I've got to get addresses. And G-Ball's already had his wrist slapped because I had to get his address. But I shipped you the knife for Brand New American, which is the Kaiser Lieb. And when you open it up, instead of Tucson box, it says this goes to Brand New American. I shipped him another knife today, so I've got his address whenever you're ready for it. And the Lieb probably just needs to be touched up. You can look at it and see what you think there, but that one's on its way to you, and then it's coming to Brand New American after you put a Kyle Edge on it. Is that cool, buddy? And I put a little note on the box in there and stickers for both of you guys. I know, Jake, I need to get a label printer. What I've been doing is shipping stuff out. That's why I don't work with knife companies. That's why I don't take free stuff in. I've got a couple of local buddies that I'm blessed to have close to me, like Dark Gravity and A to Z EDC, that will lend me knives. I've got, unfortunately, I'm embarrassed to say, now that I've fallen down the slip joint rabbit hole, I'm up to 12. No, I take that back. I will be up to 12 when the 2 that I have still inbound arrive. I have a Fox Visier. It looks like a kind of weird side buster, Italian side buster. Not really. It's modern. And then I have a Rough Rider Reserve Patriarch in Damascus coming in. That's kind of it's got the kind of bubble point that comes up, and it's like a cleaver. It's like a Warncliffe blade, but instead of having a point going down to it, it's kind of like got that little bubble. Does that make sense at all? I'll show it later on the live. But anyway, I'm really trying to, and I'm going to get you taken care of, because I'd love to show that thing off. That's a beautiful knife. I'm so stoked.
I done got to where I go to Huntsville about every Saturday.
Oh, buddy, we don't have to do that. If you want to come up here and pick up some thrifting money, if y'all come this way, Sharp Guy ATX channel member, welcome, buddy. I don't know if I've missed anybody. I don't think so. But Jake, I definitely need a label printer and a pirate ship account. But then I'm afraid, because Zach Stuff sent me, and so did Lefty, the small one they use, because I don't have a lot of space in my studio. Carco channel member, what's up, brother? I appreciate all you guys and all y'all's support. Have I shown you my Max Ace slip joint? Probably the coolest slip joint so far I've gotten.
I can't keep you cycling through so many lately. I can't really keep up.
I'll show you what I carry today after this, but this is the Max Ace Beetle S. It's a full-size slip joint. When I say full-size, I would call it a large slip joint. So it's
Yeah,
got it's got a lanyard hole. I'm gonna make myself big for 1 second because I want you to see the thinness of this blade. And what attracted me to this was not Lefty, it was our brother Jared Neves. So this knife is titanium, raindrop carbon fiber. It's a slip joint. They're not boring, guys, but what makes this knife so special? Do you see that
yeah.
blade?
I think you showed it off last week.
Did I? I didn't know if I did because it's M390, but it is 0.08 thick. I
It
think I
looks like
did.
it's about 1.5 millimeters.
It is tiny. But anyway, so let me pull you back up here. That is whoops. There you go. I thought I removed you. But I love, love, love this knife. And since last week, I got in, you guys, this is, I say it's for the channel, but it's really because I love good knives, even if they're lower priced. And Miguron, when I ordered 2 weeks ago, I knew I had to get the Moirel because I'd seen Lefty's review, and I don't put a lot of stake in what Lefty says. No offense, Lefty. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but I do put a lot of stake in Lefty's emotion. I read his nonverbal cues that tells me what I would think about a knife. So that's the reason I tried out this Miguron Moirel. Plus, I got it on Amazon for $47. Great knife. Still, I think this could be the top contender, even though I haven't lived with the one that I'm going to show you in a second. Then I picked up the Pagos, which they also make this in a titanium version for about $198 with M390. But this is a front flipper. I hate front flippers, but it's done very well. It's a thumb stud knife. It kind of reminds me of a mini machete. It's kind of got that Takuna drop blade. But same G10 construction, same titanium clip and accent around the pivots, 14C28M blades, $47. So the one that I wanted when I ordered this, gone awry. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Let me get you a sound effect. I don't know why people do that. I should just start shooting my gun and see how many shots I get off before they come and take me away. Josh Branson, trial channel member. This is the Miguron. I'll have to look it up on my phone. But you know what this knife reminds me of when I pick it up? Because all of these knives are thicker, which I don't always look at as a negative thing. This reminds me of my G10 Chavez Street. Just in weight, just in heft. But I want you to look at this blade. It's a thumb stud knife with this stone-washed, tall flat grind that's so sharp. And then this up here, satin. I don't know if I like that or really care. But every piece of hardware on every one of these Migurons is T8, and it's this barrel hardware. So it's very deep. And I'm really proud of an overseas manufacturer listening to what I think we've all asked for years, right? But T8 hardware, I haven't taken one apart yet. The action's great. The liners are very thick. That's what gives it a lot of the weight, but it's also what makes it not fatigue in your hand. But again, 46, 47 bucks. I can't believe it. And like I say, this feels very similar in weight and in heft to this Chavez Straight. See what I mean?
Yeah.
And even the thumb studs on the Miguron for 46 bucks are T8s. So you can take the studs off if you want to sharpen it. Not that you need to, because I don't think they're in the path. But guys, I know, and it's no fault of the Pagos. It's just not really my jam. because I'm not a front flipper guy. It's a great knife. I don't have any ill will towards it. And some people might really like it because it's got a thinner handle, very slicey, done very well. But just for me personally, the Moyorel had it cinched. I've had this knife for 2 hours and I've only handled it a little bit in the unboxing and just now. But I don't know if you can see the actual way that it's routed out here. It's also done that way on the reverse side. So if you're a left-handy, even though the clip's not reversible, your hose there, but you've got, it's chamfered out so I can easily get the reverse flick. But there's no other way to deploy it besides thumb studs. You've got no flipper, you've got no front flipper, but I think that's part of the uniqueness of the knife. To me, it just looks like it has a very balanced blade to handle ratio. It's a nice knife, guys. And the G10 is so close to Spyderco G10, which I don't have. I'd have to actually reach across the computer to get it. It's not worth it. But that came in this week for me to share with you guys after I lived with it for a while. And in all transparency, for me, the way I review a knife in an urban EDC, John Pauly, what is up, buddy? In an urban EDC environment, I don't go 2 weeks, feather stick, or as Ray would say, feather some sticks. I go out, I cut cardboard, I cut paper, I hang out with a knife, I play with a knife. I'm really showing you guys knives and sharing with you guys. Anybody got an Emerson Mini A100 they want to trade? I saw one yesterday, Jake. Did you check on that? There was somebody trying to sell one. Go to NAF sale. I looked either last night or today.
It was last night.
Where'd we see that? Where'd you see
It was
that?
at NAF sale.
The A100.
It was at NAF sale.
I know. I'm gonna let Dark Gravity go. So I'm done. I just wanted to show y'all what I got in that was not a slip joint. Because I know if Shane happens to come in and I show a slip joint 3 times, he goes away. And I don't want to lose my Shane. So how was your week, buddy?
Oh, it's fine. Just working and selling shit on the internet.
So tell me about your travels to different places to find your goods that you're selling.
I mean, it's just like we said, or like we talked about, it's mostly here comes the fucking train, so it's going to mess up the way I sound probably.
I don't even hear it.
Oh, okay. But it's like me and you talked about. It's a big part of it is a way for me and my wife to hang out, and I mean, just do shit other than sit around the house.
So strong, dude. That's such a good hobby and habit to be in. I mean, y'all spending time like that. I know you always have, but what is up, Forrest SLR?
Yeah, it's just something like, I won't be on here until midnight or whatever, tonight, because we're getting up at the ass crack of dawn, to go to the yard sales. And then,
well, if you come to Huntsville and you bring that knife, I'll put 100 in your hand.
Well, we're, the thrift mart at the corner of Sparkman and University.
Yeah.
We're going to go there, I know for sure.
How early's early?
We won't go there until probably right around lunchtime.
Well, just call me and I'll meet you out there, and I'll bring, if you want to bring it with you. It's no rush if you don't, but I'll bring you I'll just bring you cash. That's
fine. I'll bring it, and we'll meet up some point tomorrow morning over there.
I love it. Yeah, because I didn't want you to ship it, and I'm not in a rush. And I wasn't really going to drive over there until I get my door replaced. Even though I drive 3 times a week, I go to Gadsden, I go to Birmingham, and I either go to Montgomery or Tuscaloosa with one door.
I would have got it to you regardless.
I'm not in a rush though. You know that. We talked about that. It is absolutely no rush. It is a want, not a need. And like I promised you, if it ever leaves my hands, it's coming to you to sell it. for what you can get it for. That's a little Barlow I picked up. These are all, I've almost bought all 4 of the tool steel patterns that they have for $99. And the last, well, they actually have 2 more. They have one called a Delicate, which is really long and thin. I'm not familiar with that pattern. And then they've got a Stockton which if I'm not mistaken, this is maybe I've got the Stockton and there's a Trapper that's a little smaller. I think this is the Trapper and the Stockton is like a 1/4 inch smaller. Do you know between a Stockton and a Trapper, which one's notoriously larger?
Usually a Stockman is smaller, but has more blades than a Trapper. But I don't know how they particular do their blades. Like the Stockman that I have 3 blades, and it's smaller than a Trapper as far as the overall length, but bigger because it has 3 blades. Where the Trapper is a little bit longer in overall length, but has only 2 blades.
Welcome, Patty. Welcome, Dissident.
Then you can get the Slim Trapper, which has 1 blade that's really long, which is the one sounded like you were describing a second ago. And then you can, with some companies, you can get a single bladed Trapper.
Yeah, for some reason, that's all I've been attracted to so far are single bladed slip joints. And I do want a Swiss Army knife again, or an ASK, or an MKM. There's several different makers of that slip joint genre but I still think, is it the A-Lox, the one that's got the metal Swiss Army knife? Something about that is appealing to me, but something about the ASK, because it's interchangeable with just some of the few tools you might need. Right. But I do miss a good pair of scissors.
I believe, if I remember right, Brass Brigade used to make custom scales for A-Lox.
Well, we need to ask him because he might jump on here in a little while.
I'm thinking he's the same guy that used to do that and sell them, but then he stopped and started venturing into other stuff. But I may be wrong. It may, because Ware Knife used to do a lot of modding. And it may be that he was the one who made the custom scales and started making knives.
I'm going to share his. Keep talking, buddy. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It was one of the 2 of them, and I don't remember which one. Is either Ware Knives or Brass Brigade that used to make custom A-Lox scales. You could get brass or bronze or titanium.
I'm going to share the screen. This is not Brass Brigade, but I'm going to show you guys that he's having a sale, and I'd want to know about it. But look at Liz Hurley. She is my age, guys. She's my next ex-wife. And I would do everything. I got to give her a smiley face, or we're the one with the hearts in the eyes. I don't use Yahoo emojis. Does that look too stalkery?
No worse than anybody else.
She wouldn't have posted it, but look how pretty she is. Do y'all agree? She's just wholesome. She's always been one of my favorite actresses. All right, let's go to what I was going for. So Jason's selling his last, he's getting everything together for the Tripper because it's done. But this little guy's for sale right here, if it hadn't been sold. He sold a gripper last night. He's got this Axion frame lock, and these are bro deals if anybody's looking. You know, a new Vero for $250, an Arcane for $300, brand new in box. And then I don't know what this is.
That's Arcane. Oh no, you didn't. I'm looking at the wrong screen. My bad.
No, well, I was just on an Arcane. I think when I click, it's going.
That's the Jake Hoback quaking there.
Yeah, I think he's just moving out some stuff. This is what he sold last night. He had one last pristine gripper. Look at that.
What it is I can see my computer screen better than I can see my phone screen. And so I keep looking over to the left to look at the computer screen so I can see a bigger picture.
But
And it's way off time of what you're doing.
and this one right here is still available in Ultim. What does that look like to you guys? Let me go back a picture and tell me if it looks like this. Going back to it. And there's a better picture of it. Let me find the better picture of it. Here it is. That's a fixed blade gripper. But the problem is why I think this one's in the 300 range, because these are hand filed. He's talking to Waterjet Knives, who does his blanks now, to see if they can do the jimping, because it would save him so much time and bring it back down to a JCal's price. But he told me, he goes, John, you would not believe the hours that I have in these jimps. But to me, that's a sick knife. I mean, that's a chopper. And I'm impressed with Luck Knives. My review drops tomorrow on the Squall, which I happen to have here close. Uh-oh, there go my Forrest Hanks. Squirrel. I need a bigger area, and I've got a pretty big area. Or I need to sell a bunch of knives. But I don't know if y'all have been to Luck Knives and followed the latest things he's been showing off. This is his first run at a knife after he was a collector for years. Yeah, it's an understated flat grind. The edge he put on it, which we can all do with a fixed system, is great, but it's MagnaCut. And he also worked with Terravantium. And I think he did a fantastic job for his first knife. And I just can't, I'm going to go real quick. And you guys in the chat, somebody speak up, because I'm not paying attention to you guys, but Dark Gravity will pull me out of this loop of weirdness I'm in. Look at his last batch, how much better he's just No, I'm not sharing. That would help. I'm sitting there looking at it going, isn't it pretty? This is the last knife he showed. That's what it started as.
See, I like that because it's completely functional.
It's very functional. And this is a little bigger one, I think, Dark Gravity.
To me, that just looks like something you could use. And
they are very reasonable. My MagnaCut Squall, I got it from Lefty. And I got it for $110 in MagnaCut. But you can get it in 52-100. You can get it like these are 100. These Squalls. This is Tiffany Blue, 52-100 steel, 61 to 63 HRC, hollow grinds. Mine's a flat grind. But I mean, he is really doing, and this is a different style than the Squall. The second's Terravantium. The first is a 52-100. What blade steel is that, Dark Gravity? Educate me.
What?
52-100.
It's the same steel they used to make ball bearings.
All right, this one here is Terravantium.
They use it to make carbon steel ball bearings.
Those are the handles we saw earlier. The ones that we saw right here glow.
Well, that's cool.
Those dots, if I'm not mistaken, because I was in a chat with him. No, they're not those. Are they? Oh, yeah, they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they are. Very cool, though, right?
He's probably using a type of pen.
That lets light through it.
Yeah. It either lets light through, glows, or both.
I think his rough grinds are impressive. I mean, because I can't imagine. I mean, guys, I would chop my hands off trying to. That's Terravantium.
He
These,
eventually will rip his knuckles off.
hopefully not.
That's
But
just
he's
part of the grinder.
check that out. Is that Damasteel?
No, that's when you buy steel, it comes with this blue film across. Oh, that is.
Okay.
Oh shit! I'm over here looking at the wrong fucking screen again. Sorry.
No, dude, I'm not changing it right. Probably it's probably me. Don't blame yourself.
Between my computer and what we're saying is quite a bit of a delay.
Yeah, and
And
it's bad that way.
so I'm looking because, like I said, the picture's bigger on my computer, so I can see it better. And so I'm looking where you were at 2 or 3
Just a
pictures.
second ago.
Yeah,
Now it's like
but
it looks like a bunch of honeycomb, but I can't tell if that's a handle material or it looks to me like steel.
I mean
That block.
it's either Damascus or Damasteel.
Okay, so
Uh,
you think it is
but it
steel?
could be, I mean, it could be, some form of Damascus, but that's an expensive medium for a beginner.
Well, he says new material to play with. Let me tell you something. He's not afraid because this is two Terravantium squalls. That is that the blue stuff you're talking about?
Yeah, they put that film over it. It's a type of plastic that sticks to it. It's the same shit you get on your TV screen when you buy a new TV. It's
This
the
is
same
a
shit.
this is a Damascus one he ground tooth in. Let's see. I mean, he's done some just what I think for a first time knife maker, amazing things. And just to think that I've got a couple of designs in my head. I'm gonna get rid of thousands of dollars worth of one of a kind knives that I've fallen in love with and start making knives. I think that is cool and it's just to be commended. And I'm stoked for Mike. I mean, I hope he's successful. And that's my little guy right there.
Uh, I mean,
And that was the price that Lefty got it for.
I don't know about every knife maker, but I mean, a lot of us have that tickle in the back of our heads, you know, man, I should make knives. And then
Not me.
well, I'm just saying there's a few out there like, Nav Sargent and Super Steel Steve and Big Brown Bear and, guys that'll, step out, got the balls to step out there and give it a shot.
Well, if you've got the talent and you've got the ideas, why not? Why are you not as good as anybody else that could be out there doing it? I think it's a shame not to put your what is up, G Ball, my brother? Hey, I
Yeah,
need to ask you a question that G Ball had, and I thought I could answer, but I don't know if I can. Is the Zeba? It's a production knife. It's not a mid tech, is it? The
no,
Michael Zeba.
it's a full mid tech. It's not production. There's
Okay,
only
it's mid
six
tech.
of them.
Okay, I wasn't sure. He asked, and I
That,
wasn't sure.
that knife that that you're getting from me, there's only 6 of them in the world.
Dude, it's beautiful. I sent him the old picture of it, of the expired listing.
Yeah.
And the
He
best
does
part,
when
I
he
gotta,
does them. He usually does like 5 or 6 of them at a time.
I've got to show you the best part. I'm going to go to his website, and it's not a knife.
Oh, you talking about Countess Anne?
I don't know if she goes by Countess Anne on his website. She just does Zeba, or not Zeba, jewelry. She's not doing
What up, Mimo?
Mimu.
But no, I still want another Ziva. I just want to wait and find the one that is the one that I want.
That has the
Because
pattern that.
well, no, the one that I want, he hasn't made in years, and it would be, he only probably made a handful of them, and so it's just going to be luck if I ever find one. But he did one that same. I mean, the handle and the blade's the same as far as shape because the S5 is a S5, but
I'm not
the handle,
sharing. I'm
the
sitting here
handle,
oohing and on, and I'm not. I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
the handle is flame titanium, and the blade is differentially hardened.
When you
And
say
so
differentially hardened, does that give it a pattern?
it gives it a Hamon line. the edge is hard and the spine is softer. Now, I would imagine it's more decorative than reality because I believe that the blade steel that he used was M390 when he made that particular knife back when he made it.
Let's find it.
Um, I don't know if it's even on there. I know he does MKMs
What was the model number again?
I mean, it's the S5. It's
Okay.
just it's just one that he hadn't made and that I know of in a really, really, really long time. I'm talking about years.
So it probably wouldn't be in his gallery here.
It may be in his gallery. I don't know. I'm sitting here. That's the Astro.
Yeah, I was just up on the Astro DS, and then you get down to Angel 7, Angel Garden. Do you remember what it was called?
No, it was just a flame titanium. It didn't have a
Oh, yeah,
name.
so it was actually not. It didn't have the etchings on it. It's not going to look anything like that. It's
No,
going to look
no,
more like this. The
yes,
Odin's Eye
that's
Flame.
what it looked like. It looked more like that little one did.
Look at that
Uh,
thick S7.
except it was the S5 model.
I
Uh,
got you.
that was, I can send you a picture of it later. I don't know how to.
Yeah, do that. That's not Countess Anne because her tats are different and her other vowel are different. Well, he doesn't have it on here, I don't guess. But they've got some doodads for Doom. I need to get a doodad because several of my slip joints are begging for a doodad. I've never been a lanyard guy, but this one here, for example, and I've got another one that fits in a slip that needs a short little snake knot with a doodad on it so that it'll hang out and it can easily be pulled out of my sheath. And then this one could benefit from a doodad, and it's got a doodad holder because it kind of fits tight in the sheath, which is good. It's got good retention, but I could do a little doodad in it. And then I've got from Etsy a couple of other sheaths coming. I tried to get a coffin one from a guy, and then I ordered 3. It was a 2-for-1 deal. They were real basic little slips, and they're coming from a country that I can't even pronounce the freaking letters on. It just shipped, and it'll be here sometime in May. But this has got a weird little hole in it. So before I kept this big guy in this slip, which I've got another one coming this size from this Czechoslovakian chick. But I need to put a doodad in here. The only thing I'm worried about is I don't think a full-size piece of paracord is going to go through there. I'm going to have to get a thinner gauge.
I have some thin paracord.
I've got some. I don't have some. I want to get above the micro, above the nano. There's a space between the 500. It's like 250, and they sell it down at what is it? Mountain Outfitters over on Bob Wallace.
Yeah,
it's right there by the Parkway.
Yeah, I've got some, but you can go buy some if you want.
Well, no,
Arizona, if I could share it, I was going to say, if I could share it with you, Arizona Custom Knives has the S5 that I want.
You can share it. All you got to go down to is present, and then you choose the screen you want to present.
No, no, I can't share it because this is on my computer and my phone.
I'm going to Arizona Custom Knives, and you walk me there.
All you got to do is just Google Michael Zipa flamed S5.
Gotcha.
And it'll pull it up. And there's Arizona Custom Knives. It's well, no, I'm not talking about there. I'm about Google.
I was at Google. I'm at Arizona Custom Knives now. Oh, you want me to Google it? And you saw an old picture is what you're saying.
Yeah, what I did is I Googled Ziba S5 or flamed Ziba S5 is all I Googled, and it showed up with an Arizona Custom Knives one. And if I knew how to fucking, I hate this damn thing. I don't know how to work.
Here it is, Bubba. I see it. We're good. That beautiful bastard right there.
Yep.
Oh man. Look at that flaming, and it's like, dude, that's slick. And now, is the others a liner lock, right, or is it a frame lock?
Frame lock.
Okay, I
They're
wasn't
all
sure.
solid. They're all solid titanium.
I just love that blade. I remember you describing it.
You can get them with carbon fiber.
That flame tie is beautiful.
Yeah. But that right there is the one that I want. And it says that he had one 20 days ago, and apparently I missed it, but I wasn't paying $850 for it.
You reach out to him. You see if he's going to have you at the show. You make arrangements, even if you're not there. I'll be there for you. I can be a proxy because I'm definitely going. Panic and I are going, and we're going to stay. Vince has been kind enough to extend a space for us to crash in. So we're going to stay with Vince and a buddy, Simplify, over there at an Airbnb. But I will be your proxy if there's something specific you want. You know that. So if you can get in touch with him and see if he's got one, he's a nice guy. You've met him before. He would probably have you one ready at a fair table price.
Yeah,
Gracian, welcome, brother. You shipped out today too, man. Congratulations to me for getting the monkey off my back. I'll get you a shipping number at some point, but they'll all be there next week, and they're all coming UPS. Sorry, buddy. I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I'm just, when I see people come in that have been waiting for knives and patiently not blowing me up because I've told them I was a slacker, this is kind of a celebration for me. The monkey's off my back.
Yeah.
Mike Reese, channel member.
The S1 mini frame lock is fucking badass too, but it's only got a 2.5-inch blade.
See, I would like that. That's a Zeba?
Yeah.
S1?
S1. Well, the one I'm looking at is on Blade HQ.
I'm looking at Mini Flame right here. Fort Henry. There it is. Blade HQ.
Mini Zeba knives S1 mini frame lock.
$375.
Yep.
I'm gonna go to it and show the people. I think it's beautiful, and it's my size knife because I've learned with slip joints.
Well,
hold on, guys. I think the cat might be trapped in Grateful Panic's room. Y'all take a look at the knife while I go. Talk through it, Grateful Panic.
That's fine.
Dad.
That's I don't know what to talk about, guys. I'm sitting here looking at knives. I'm shopping for myself instead of looking for you guys. That knife's one that's definitely on my want list.
Wouldn't that be 2.5-inch blades? So that'd be much smaller than your 3.25-inch Harsey, wouldn't it? Overall length is
that's a real small. I mean, 2.5-inch.
5.8. Yes, under 6 inches.
Yeah, that's a really small knife. I mean,
do they make an S1 that's not a mini? That you're aware of, buddy?
Huh?
They make an S1 that's not a mini?
Oh, I don't know what all he makes.
Let's see. Here we go. Here's the S1 frame lock. It's 365, buddy. 3.65 inches. I'm about to share it with you.
So yeah, it's a lot bigger.
Yeah, it looks like that's why with it having mini in the name.
I do know I saw one time where he was talking about the higher the number, like the S1 is the easiest knife for him to make. The S2 is next. The S3, the S4, the S5. The higher the number. So like the S7 is the most complicated knife that he makes.
Let's go to that one.
And
then I'll show you guys an element on the S5 that's just insane.
And so I know when I've looked in the past, usually the S7s are a lot more expensive than.
Oh yeah, this is the koi I was just showing you. Look at the detail in the set-in platinum koi.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's just, I mean, to me, that's art because that's all sculpted in the tie on the lock side.
Yeah, his knives are art more than are as much as they're knives. I mean, they're fully functional.
They're super
Um,
functional. The actions are to die for. Look at this S7 Joker.
but yeah, the knives
Well,
are.
why so serious? I mean, that's whimsical, though. I mean, that's a $1,900 whimsical saying with the Joker on it, but yet it's Damasteel, Thor Damasteel pattern. Why so serious on the clip with Joker cards? I mean, you have to be a very artistic human. Look at the skulls down there under the lanyard clip.
Well, I mean, if you look at everything on his website, it's artistic. There's nothing he does that to me. I mean, okay, it's a little darker, but everything that he does is beautiful.
There's a DLT trading. There's your, if you wanted just to buy one off the street, sizzle that bitch for $30, but that's probably like a 12-month sizzle.
No, that'd be a 24-month sizzle. If it's
I don't do
30 bucks.
math in my head. Nitro
If
V,
it's 30, yeah, see, that's the lower end blade steel. It's
this,
nothing done to the handle. It's just
no,
machine titanium with machine carbon fiber thrown on top.
so that one
Um,
wouldn't get your boat cranked. Blade HQ has it too. Titanium carbon fiber, sea green looks like what that one is. River's Edge Cutlery had it.
no, if the S5 blade design is what really attracts me. Um,
The skulls are what do it. I mean, so much of this knife I had no intention of even really loving when you had it until you let me play with it. That's the same thing that happened with the little Hinder. I mean, I got it in my hand and it was just,
well, that's what happens with a lot of them, and that's why I'm always careful with handling, especially around A to Z, because he's got a lot of shit that'll get me in trouble. Uh,
look at this backspacer, guys.
uh, G-ball, I'll let you play with it too. Uh, but that's the thing about it is I mean, there's a lot of really great knives out there. What me and you were talking about yesterday, I'm to a point where, I don't want to pay the prices that some of these guys are wanting for their knives when I can have a knife like that
It makes
for
it,
almost the same price. Yeah, that is more. But if you get it at table price, it's not significantly more than what I paid for the JK that I'm supposed to get in a few weeks.
right.
He finally posted about that after 8 or 9 months that, they're doing the engrave, I guess putting his logos on it. And so they should be shipping to him like next week, I guess.
Well, that's
Uh,
exciting. That means you've got one coming about the time my MASH 2 will come. I'll feel totally weak then.
well, no, see, because that's the thing is it's got to travel from China, which is probably going to take 2 weeks. Then one thing I'll give Felix is that he QCs every fucking knife. He's not going to send you a knife that has, if the knives are fucked up, like what happened with the Lek.
Well,
He had QC issues with the Lek, and so everybody didn't get their shit, like they were supposed to when they were supposed to, because
the
I
wrong
think it was
Damasteel, all kinds of things. The high end
steel.
knives had all kinds of problems.
Right, the Mokutai clips were chipped or scratched or something. I don't remember, but he's going to QC those knives before he ships them out. I'll give him 110% credit on that. But yeah, what Descentient is saying is definitely true. You buy one, you try one.
And I was going to point out to Sentient because when I was going through my mailings today, cheers to me for being a slacker who finally got it done. The Sentient was actually a winner who is the one that's allowing us to send the knife, the Lotvin Mini, to Kyle Coonley to have sharpened and then send on to Brand New American. So thank you, brother. Doing something kind for someone.
But I mean, for that altogether, that uh, JK is $550. Altogether, that Zeba was $650 table price. Now that Zeba comes with his an exclusive. I mean, he doesn't have any more. You can't go buy one bead that come with it. That'll break your. Be careful because that thing will break shit because it's solid brass or solid bronze, one of the two. And it weighs like as much as the fucking knife does, and
I
it's a
love
bead
his
about
doodads.
yeah, it's a bead about the size of your pinky, maybe one of your other fingertips. I mean, it's not very big, but it'll definitely break shit if it hits it. Uh, but it come with a handkerchief or whatever you want to call it. That's got his logo with the moth and all that kind of stuff on it. It come with a leather pouch. I mean, you got all these other things with it for that price. I mean, and to me, I'm sitting here and I'm like, which one's a better deal? Made in the USA by two amazing knife makers, Jason Knight and Michael Zeba. And Zeba is an amazing artist. I mean, you can go look at his jewelry and all the doodads and baubles and shit that he makes. I mean, he's an insane artist. Uh, I mean, you can look at Jason Knight's knives. I mean,
He's amazing too, and he's a nice guy. They're both
yeah,
nice
and
guys.
yeah. I mean, so to me, it's no argument. And it's like we were talking about, to name drop somebody I met at one of the knife shows, the guy from Old Dominion Knife Works. I
A
mean,
master.
he was an awesome guy, to just sit and talk to. Uh, I mean, there's a lot of great knife makers that out there that are making things roughly the same price as much as I don't want to sound like a hater, as much as something Obscene Company or Chavez or Leon Ma or any of these knife makers that are having stuff made through Riot or Best Tech or We or something of that nature. There's a lot of American knife makers in that close to that price range of what they're wanting for their knives now that you can get, something that's one of one or
Yeah.
one of five or one of 10. They do it in small batches a lot of times for roughly the same price. And I've handled a lot of those knives. That's one of the great things about going to a knife show is you get to handle these guys' knives and you're like, man, this knife is fucking amazing.
And you meet the person behind the knife, which
Yeah.
does have a lot to do with when they tell you, yeah, that one took me 7 weeks. And like that guy was talking about pinning knives together, the old gentleman who passed, he was talking about what goes in to making a fine slip joint. And it's
Yeah.
not just like everybody else. That's why I just would die for you to come over for a day just to engage with the makers that you like. I mean, Strider. I found out he was there. He was just at a very small table, very unannounced.
Yeah. Strider always goes to Blade Show, I think.
Twang Thang, new member. Thank you, brother. Let me
But
get my
see,
sounds out here.
that's the thing is there's, I don't know, I'd have to do something to come up with more money because there's the knives that I am interested in are a little expensive.
But you see, the whole thing is
That's the
you
hard.
can buy, that's part of it, but you can also go get a card, because when I talk to people, I never was able to follow up with it, but there was a little fixed blade company. This is before I ever had a small fixed blade. This might have been what triggered me before Lefty ever got a chickadee and showed it to me. But there were some little fixed blades that had really nice handles, really kind of Manisfaction channel member, welcome brother. Had really nice acrylic colored, maybe stabilized wood handles. I'd have to see it again. But I got the guy's card. I can't find it. And he was like, just contact me after the show. You can get the same price. So you
Yeah,
probably can't do that with Shiros, but with the type of makers like Wells, people you like, if you go and you make kind of a handshake on what you like or what you'd like to have, you can get those same relationship prices. I think that's how I've always gotten my Asher knives. I've always gotten them for the same price he sells them online for. They've always been sold out online. I've always reached out to him through DM. It's sometimes taken a week. Sometimes it's been immediate. Sometimes it's taken 3 months. But I've always gotten a knife that other people still have a hard time getting just because I engage. I'm not trying to give him anything. I'm just saying I'm very interested in your product.
right. Well, and that's really it with me. And it's not that I'm wanting to step into that thousands of dollars a knife. Uh, I just want because I have a benefit that a lot of folks don't, which is I have a not a huge knife dealer, but a fairly large knife dealer, less than or right at a mile from my house.
A good
And
one.
so, right, a good knife dealer. And so I can go and handle a lot of different knives without an issue. I know the owner, I know most of the staff, different things of that nature. So I can go and handle knives and play with knives so I don't have to buy them. It's what I'm wanting. It's like we've talked, and I've said this, and people are probably getting tired of hearing it. It's the hunt. It's the finding the knife that you want and going through. For me, it's the process. It's like that Zeba. I found it. He posted and said, "Hey, these are going to be exclusive to the Nashville Custom Knife Show. You know, I'm
And
gonna
that year
have
was the New York City Custom Knife Show. That was
it
the
was
year before they changed it.
right." And he did say it was the New York Custom Knife Show initially, and then it changed to Nashville because of COVID. But he said there's going to be six of the. I don't forget how many patterns there were, but there was going to be six of each pattern. I think altogether it was like,
Four
maybe
patterns.
30 knives. Was it
Yeah,
four? So it's
it's four patterns.
24 knives.
Angel, Guard. There were four.
There was the witches, uh, Odin, the
Norse
angel,
and Norse.
uh, and something else.
I think
But
Norse, wasn't it? Norse, Norse or Nors? Maybe not.
I don't know. Um, but anyway, he had those knives, and that was going to be it. And um, I think the only one he had left over, A to Z, ended up getting.
Yeah. And he bought that like a week after yours because you inspired him too. You see what Crispy's asking or saying?
I don't know who Luther Warnot is, but
Let's pull him up.
I understand what you mean. It might.
Spell
I mean,
Warnot for me real quick.
it's WARNAUGHT.
UGHT. Nice. Ooh.
No, Josh, I live near St. Nick's Knives. They're like a mile from my house.
This is you're probably talking about the customs. I'm thinking, Crispy. This is the one I found at Knife Joy, but there are others on here that are more extravagant. But that's pretty extravagant, right? That's beautiful. Look at that brushed stone. What do you call that? Satin? 3 1/4 inch blade. It's the perfect size.
And that's, I
Crispy,
mean,
is that one similar or is there a different one? Because there are a bunch. He's got a bunch of different knives. Arizona Custom Knives has some.
but that's, for me, it's, I've went through the phase of buying dozens of $50 knives.
Yes.
I've had those, and then I went. It's like we talked about it a week or two ago, where you post a $500 knife, and people are sending you messages. Do you want to trade for a Spyderco? It's like I've already been through that phase. If I've made it to where I have a JK for a Hendrick, and that's kind of what it is experiencing things that I haven't experienced or can't experience at the corner store.
Dang, Ross.
A lot of those you have to drop some money on.
Dang, Ross, I need your address, brother. I'm putting and then I'm going to let Dark Gravity finish talking, but I need you to send me your address because I can't find it. And I sent everybody's knives today except just a couple. And here's my address coming into the chat, and I'll even pin it. And I almost put the email address in there wrong. Right. Dang, Ross, good to see you, buddy. And I'll ship yours. I almost put you in timeout. Where's my chat? Here it is. I almost put myself in timeout. I can't pin my comment. I guess because I've got one pinned.
Because you already have one pinned.
And you can always message me, since it's just a couple of you who I don't have email addresses. You can always message me, brother. But I've got you, and I've got to find Scott in. But I sent him an email. But I haven't gotten an email back yet. So we're on the lookout for Scott in. Twang Thang, channel member, welcome, buddy.
The thing that hurts with that, Twang, and that's what I try to share with or express to people, is you can't. Well, it's not that you can't. It's a lot more difficult. And this is what I found is when you do want to go to the $100 knives or the $150 knives, is it's a lot more difficult to get rid of those budget knives than it is. Like I sold a ZT to a coworker
Hang in there, Steve. I might have one for you.
I sold it to him yesterday, and all I had to do was tell him, "Hey, I got some zero," because I know he's a zero tolerance fan. And I just said, "Hey, I got some zero tolerance knives I want to sell." And he was like, "What you got?" And I showed him the few knives that, the couple that I had that I want to sell. And he was like, "I'll buy that one from you." And yesterday I took it to work. I showed it to him Wednesday. Yesterday I took it to work and it was gone. You can do that once you get into that Benchmade zero tolerance Spyderco range, you can kind of start to move the knives. And then when you do want to, without losing your shirt for one, and you can start to move into the higher price knives. But when you're wanting to move a bunch of $50 QSPs and Kaisers and things of that nature, it's a lot more difficult to do. And
I'll tell y'all a story. Around Christmas, I was trying to thin out my herd before I ever had a channel. I was posting shorts, but I'd never gone live, so I didn't have a way to give them away. So I'd put them on Instagram just for my followers, like a lot of Damn Designs, some Civivis and whatnot. And like one nice knife, one Malibu that sold instantly. But I couldn't sell my Sharp by Designs Mini Tempest. Not Mini Tempest. Evo? What is this?
I know the one you're talking about you couldn't sell.
I'm glad I didn't too. Because now it's bringing a lot more.
It's a great knife.
No, yeah. It's just the only thing I don't like about it is I can't flick it 100% of the time because it's a Bowie. I wish it was a drop point.
Well, my issue with it is I wish he would redo it a smidge bigger with thumb studs. because
Oh,
no, I will not buy a flipper only knife. Any period. Um,
I can tell you who is the thumb stud king.
I saw what Sato did to the EXO.
God, he's so good.
Um,
And did you see what he's doing for his friend? If you get a chance to watch his last Sunday where he goes through some different projects he's working on, he put some studs on one of his friend's knives. I forget which knife it is, but the way he positioned them so it'd be in front of the 20 CV where you don't see it, but it still flips good. I mean, he's so meticulous.
oh yeah, he's a machinist.
Yeah, but I mean, he's takes pride in his work. I
Yeah,
think he
I
loves what
mean,
he does. That's good. But
well, a lot of machinists that are hands-on machinists that are more tool and die makers. I mean, I'm not sure what his level of training is, but they're very meticulous people. My grandfather was a tool and die maker, and then went to school and become an engineer, and he
he's
was
an
very meticulous.
he's another reason to fly over Saturday if you just wanted to come for a few hours, just to because that's the day. Or he might be there Friday and then out. I forget because he rides his motorcycle cross country. I think this year he might be staying though.
He needs to. I told him if he's coming through, because I mean, of course, he comes through. You know where he comes through close to us. He's about 90 miles south of us, so 100 miles south. So it ain't worth driving 100 miles just to have somewhere to crash.
Who's that?
Sawtooth.
Oh yeah,
When he rode through last year, he cuts through Birmingham,
right,
which
right. So
he
he'd
gets
have to
down.
come north. Gator
Yeah,
Aaron, what's up, brother? So tonight we'll be giving away the Sin-Cut Scepter, which is a fantastic knife. It's got multiple deployments, thumb studs that are easy to reverse flick, and it's got the traditional flipper. It's got an early detent, drops to your finger. Micarta. I like it better than any Civivi.
but one thing on the flip side of what we were talking about, though, another thing that I've said quite a bit, and this is where you know it, my brain is just discombobulated, is at the same time I say that I want to go buy another Zeba, or I want to go buy an Old Dominion or somebody like that. At the same time, for $50, you can get an amazing knife.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the fancy materials, but as far as build quality is there, functionality is there. I mean, you can get a great knife um, for
And
50, $60.
but you're in the same boat because for me, the end of my story was I sold a few of those knives on um, Instagram, but it was a pain, right? After I shipped them, yeah, I made some of my money back, but it was to me, I get more out of being able to give them away if I'm not going to keep them, right? Unless it's a nicer knife that I'm going to try to flip to get another knife, but I haven't gotten into that yet. Um, so yeah, it's for example, my slip joints, I haven't gone crazy on price. I think but if I totaled them up, I could have a couple of Jack Wolfs or a custom, so they do add up. But what it's allowed me to do is kind of experience a lot of different ones, different.
That's part of the beginning of collecting anything is uh, you usually don't start like I collect knives. I started with, well, actually, when I started, they were more like $20, $30 knives, $15 knives, that kind of price range when I started when I was young. Uh, and then it progressed from there. It's the same thing with, I collect vintage clothes and I'm into vintage clothes. Well, I'm not going to go buy a Levi's Type 1 jacket. I'm still not there, uh, from the 1930s, because I'm not going to go spend, six, seven, $8,000 on something. I'm not even to the point where I'm willing to buy a Type 2 jacket for, $1,000 or $2,000.
But couldn't you
Um,
get back out of that for the same way you could with a knife? I mean, couldn't you like sell it if you ever needed to?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with it is the two hobbies that I have, whether it's vintage clothing or pocket knives, uh,
You're not rude,
you
Josh
can,
Ward, channel member. Eat breakfast, buddy.
you can when you get beyond the base level, like this jacket I got on right now it's a Levi's Type 3 trucker jacket that I found at a thrift store for $6.50. I could probably sell it because it's from 1994, so it's definitely considered vintage. I could probably sell it for $50 or $60 pretty easy. Uh, but that's the beginner level. That's the bottom level, just like it is with knives. That's your entry level. Now you can find crazy shit at thrift stores, like uh, you know, I mean, people have found, you know, Type 1 jacket. People have found Nirvana t-shirts, original Nirvana t-shirts, which are
Hundreds
your
of
most expensive,
dollars.
thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, early 90s Nirvana t-shirts in good condition are thousands of dollars. Uh, you know, that's just how that works. But you get into that price point and you typically aren't losing money. You're just holding on to something for the next guy. Like
And like Copolite Steve said, by buying Benchmades last year, you can sell them for twice as much and still undercut the price of what they're selling for this year.
that's true. But like I bought this J case for $350 and I
Mm.
haven't used it. I haven't used it and abused it. I could probably get $350 for it. It does have some signs, on this side because I have carried it and I've cut some stuff with it, but nothing major. Like
You
packages of
hadn't
this,
hadn't
that,
feather
this,
stick
it.
it.
Yeah, I hadn't batoned with it or feather stick nothing or anything that damaged the finish on it or anything of that nature. But when you get to that point, especially if it's a better knife, usually you can get pretty close to getting your money back or get your money back. And so it does become an investment. But then you take something like this, which is a Tucson TS 219. And for me, this was a grail for like 8 months. And when it did finally show up, I didn't have the money to get it. And luckily, I have a friend like John who did have the money to get it and got it for me. But this makes it hard at $150. 100. Well, they actually had them. White Mountain had them for I think $100 for a little while, but it makes it hard to turn around and go spend $350 on this because this knife has carbon fiber sculpted. That's flat slab carbon fiber. The inlay, as far as the joint between the titanium and the carbon fiber, is impeccable. I haven't been able to find any voids in the carbon fiber. Uh, the grind isn't perfect. That's the only thing is the JK's grind is definitely better
Better.
as far as the blade grind goes. But and you can argue whether the 20 CV that's probably 59 to 60 Rockwell. I hate to sound like Shane Gables, but this is 14C 28N, which is a great steel. And for me, completely functional. I don't need 20 CV. I don't need Maximet. I don't need MagnaCut. This, 14C 28N is completely acceptable for anything I do. Even if I was to go back in the service and go back to Africa or South America or Iraq, because when I was the first time I went to Africa, I carried VG10 and it worked just fine. It was on a Spyderco knife.
Got in
And
cans, got indoors, got in anywhere you needed it to.
And then after that, it was 154 CM. And, 150, my 154 CM knife has been through more than most people's. I mean, the lighting's not great, but you can see that all of that coating is gone from this knife. Not all of it, but I mean, you can see it's really fucked up because of the stuff that I've done.
Oh, it's worked.
You might can see the little shiny spot right there at the end of my pinky. That's for me using it as a wire cutter.
Using
You
it and
see,
slamming the blade down on it.
yeah, I would slam the blade closed on the wire and cut it. You can see all that shiny on the back of it. That's where I use it as a hammer. Um, I mean, and the knife still functions 100%. I mean, and it's 154 cm, and it's been through hell. Now, some of the teeth, because unfortunately the military makes you get partially serrated, it could use a little bit of time at the dentist to get its teeth straightened out. But I
A
mean,
little ceramic rod.
yeah, but I can't sharpen that shit straight no way. So when it comes to serrations,
I got to show this because Josh Worth brought it up, and dude, I don't even want to know how expensive it is. But tell me if you think that's sexy, and then I'll show it to you in a couple of different styles. There's a drop point. There's a sheep's foot. Look at that.
what are those?
Those are Trevor Berger
Oh yeah, Trevor Berger makes great knives.
CKX slip joints.
What up, Byron Kennedy?
Oh, that's not a slip joint. Hold on a second. Maybe I typed in the wrong number. Hold on. Maybe I typed in the wrong number. EXK. I did EKK. I did type in the wrong number. Duh.
Yeah, Trevor Berger makes nice knives.
Well, I know I've seen him on Lefty's channel chasing them. Is it EXK? EXK, buddy?
I'm also with Maddie. I could go for a mushroom Swiss burger right now.
Ooh, y'all don't make me hungry. I'll have to end early just to get over to Taco Bell. EXK.
I could go for some Taco Bell too.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's good. All right, here's Trevor Berger on Knife Joy. EXK, where is it? I wonder where it dropped. Maybe Urban EDC.
But like I said, Tucson ruined. I don't want to say ruined, but really hurt the.
Byron Kennedy, what's up, buddy? Go ahead, dude. I'm sorry.
That world that the J Cake kind of dances in, and those type knives. Tucson really kind of ruined that for me.
See this right here? I need to let you handle this. This is a compound grind Tucson 14C 28N, flat on the front. Action is sick. It only has a flipper deployment.
See that? No, it's got a hole.
Well, that's what I mean. When I say flicker, it's only got a hole, so it's only got a flicker deployment.
Oh, it don't have a flipper on it. Okay.
No, it doesn't have any flipper or any front flipper, but it was $98 after my discount.
Yeah, I mean,
dude, look at the detail on the sweat. I mean, it's a fine knife, and I'm not a Tanto guy, but I like this particular Tanto. And for the money, I've tried to not buy Tucsons, but every now and then I'm getting ready to show 3 big knives. One of them is a Tucson, and it's what made me think about it, because when I was getting a Tucson box, I found another part to this knife that I forgot about because it's so beefy. But yeah, it's hard to look at Riot and look at Best Tech and look at some of these knives that are coming out and seeing how they can be that much better than something that appeals to somebody else that have the same materials and very good, if not better, build quality.
And some people make the argument that, the action on these is better. And
it's unique. It's very unique.
Well, the thing about this is I had to buy skiffs for this because the bearings went bad in this. And so I ordered skiffs for it. And if I ordered a set of skiffs for that Tucson, guess what? It would do everything. It would do just as good as this one does. And so the whole thing is, or the whole point behind it, and this is something I've tried to teach John, which I've failed completely at.
No, I was good. I got bad again because I'm doing it now and I'm justifying it as bringing content to the channel, which is wrong. That's just a game I play with myself. But go ahead. You were successful though.
But is to really think about what you're purchasing and why you're purchasing it. And it's mostly, and this is something I've seen, like when I've seen it more with the internet, when Facebook first started with the knife chat, or actually even before that, you had the blade forums and things of that nature. I started seeing it then, and I still see it today with Instagram and, uh, knife groups and things of that nature. Is there's so many that go and just buy to get that constant fix, and before they even receive the knife that they ordered yesterday, they're already, they've already clicked order. So now they're scrolling looking for the next knife. They're looking for the next fix. And my whole thing is pause and think about what you're getting and what it's going to give you in the long run. Because in the long
Amen.
run, I'm sitting here, in a way, kind of bashing on this JK, but this is one of my favorite knives. I mean, I wouldn't sell it. I wouldn't trade it. Um, if like years ago, back in '08, I lost my job and had to sell a bunch of shit to support my family for a period of time after that. I had to sell knives. I had to sell guns. I used to collect coins. I had to sell that, the gold and silver coins that I had. Uh, this is one of them that wouldn't be on the sell list. It just wouldn't. I would lose my house probably before I sold this.
You really
Uh,
love that knife. You're connected to it.
well, it's just there, and I would sell it to keep from losing my
I
house.
know you would, but
I'm
it's
just being figurative. But this would be one of the last ones I sold before.
well, you're not
It,
going to get to that point, so it's hypothetical.
yeah, I'm just saying it's one of those that will never be available out, to the public. You might find your own from somebody else, but mine is staying here. Even though it's a little frustrating that, I had to go and buy separate bearings for it. But you can take, a lot of knives, that are more budget friendly. And is this is 350, this is 150. On the high end, 150. Is this $200 better than this? No.
Objectively, no.
No, it's not.
But
And if you say, well, the day cape's got better action, okay, for $15, so $165 versus 350. Now I've got the same action. Yet, because this action in the J cape is smoother, but it's got skiff ceramic bearings in it. So and if you buy a multi pack, you get a discount. But I'm just saying, for one set of bearings, it's like $15. So $15 extra in this gives me this level of action, this level of fidgetability. I mean, the function is the function. They still both function equally well as knives.
so objectively, you're exactly right. It's not worth more. But subjectively or perceived value, you know that you could probably flip both of those knives. Not that you ever would with the JK, but you'd probably get closer to what you had in the
Oh yeah.
JK than the Tucson. So there's that's kind of a
Well,
weird one.
I'll tell you right now, the reason I could get more money, I could get the 350 for the JK, where this I'd probably only get 75. And I can tell you exactly where that comes from. And people won't admit it. People will deny it. People say, "Oh no, 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 no." But there's a reason they're called influencers, and there's a reason they make a shit fucking load of money. Some of them, and it's because if they say buy fart in a jar, people will buy that shit up. And the reason the J cape is such a hype knife, and the same with a lot of the knives, the reason it's such a hype knife is because the internet says it is, and because you know people like Lefty, people like JuhVon, people like Needs, people like Taylor Martin. Uh, they're called influencers for a reason. They're the ones who set the demand, and they set the demand for this over that. And most of why they do it is that team.
It's something about because I do flick my knives more than I cut with my knives. I only
Oh,
cut things. I talk about that openly. But talking about skiffs, I put them in this Wii, which has not been a popular Wii. It was one of those 200 of this color and 200 of the black. It's called the Wii Fornix. I put
yeah.
skiffs in it, made all the difference in the world. I think skiffs, even for a lesser price knife, now I wouldn't put them on a budget knife, but this thing will fall now.
But that's the thing is you can put. That's my point is you can put skiffs on. I mean, as long as the measurements match up, you can put skiffs on anything, and now you've got. Um, I just saw what Jake put up
Jake's got cash.
there.
I think Ed's looking for the acoustics of the fart in the jar.
Acoustics, mate.
You know what's
I mean,
funny? Go
Ed's
ahead.
right. I mean, with the J cape, that is one of the biggest things is that team. That is one of the big hypes with this knife is the fact that it teams. If you get the full tie, it does it every time you open it. But like mine's the carbon fiber and titanium. It doesn't do it every time, but yeah, it's that team that people are buying. Yes,
But
ma'am.
you like the way it feels. You like the way it makes you feel. You like a lot more about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What time does it start? Yeah. Yeah.
Buddy, you can bug whenever you need to bug. Tell Lo I said hello.
He just showed me another big pimping neighborhood with multi-family yard sale tomorrow.
This is what I was going to tell you. If you probably don't want the competition, but you and Lo need to hook up with A to Z. Call him one Friday night because he maps those motherfuckers out, and he starts about 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah, he's not. I don't consider him competition because his target is totally different than mine. My target is old folks.
That's where he goes.
Well, see, my target's old folks for that work, blue collar work.
Well, you guys might be looking for the same folks, just different stuff.
My wife is her target is old folks with in nicer communities so she can buy nicer furniture cheap. A to Z, well, I guess he's maybe targeting the same folks to a degree, but he's after some shoes because he's a shoe guy.
What's the accelerator? One Moon likes his accelerator as much, if not more, than his JK.
I don't know.
I'm gonna pull it up. Go ahead, but I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, it's fine. I understand them squirrels run by, but
yeah, man, I'm full of squirrels.
But no, it's see that's the thing. We'll hit yard sales and work our way over to the Goodwill bins, and then we'll be at the Goodwill bins when they first open at 9. And so, I mean, we've got a couple, like one neighborhood that we're hitting in the morning. It's supposed to be multifamily, and it's those patio homes that's like all old people. And so the one she just showed me is a fairly new development here where like all the houses are $500,000 to $750,000. So it's all people with money.
Nice. Is that over in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, it's I don't know, maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles down the road. It's basically about as far away as St. Nick's is, just going the other direction.
So it's in your neighborhood. I didn't know you said Huntsville.
No, it's in Athens. That's where everybody's moving now is Athens. So, um, but she was just showing me that one. It's like a 5 family yard sale, and so
Those are
we'll probably
always
hit.
good.
Yeah, we'll probably. What we'll do is we'll leave out of here, go by that one because it's on the way to the one with the old people, and we'll leave here, go to that one, check out the 5 family yard sale, and then we'll go down because the one with in the I don't want it's not a retirement community.
It's just like a senior living,
Uh,
like older, where you got to be 55 type, probably. Where
it's actually not restricted. It's just when you pull into the neighborhood, the main road down the center of the neighborhood is all single level patio homes. Now, around the outside, the periphery of the neighborhood is, regular houses, 2 story, 1 story, you know, younger families and things of that nature. It's just that strip down the middle, for whatever reason, decided to be filled with old people. Probably because it's all single level patio homes with really small yards. So there's not a lot of yard to take care of. I mean, literally, their front yards in a lot of those houses is the size of my back porch that I'm sitting on.
wow, so it's little patio homes, probably with a lot of stuff to get. We got
Right, and so
Mimo. Drop a link to that accelerator. You're a mod, buddy, so we can look at it. Go ahead, bud. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
oh no, it's fine. Uh, and so we're going there after, but we'll probably, like I said, it'll be kind of a loop to get to the Goodwill bins. We'll go by that one, then we'll go to the old folks one, then we'll go to the Goodwill bins, and then most likely after the Goodwill bins, we'll do a couple of rounds there, and then we'll go to the thrift store. Well, we'll pick. I mean, there's about 20 thrift stores in Huntsville, and so we'll pick a handful of them and go to a handful of them tomorrow until probably 3 or 4, and then we'll come back home and I'll take pictures and put stuff online, or most likely, because truthfully, we still buy mostly stuff for ourselves. It's I don't buy a lot of stuff to sell.
Because you like the stuff you find, right?
Well, and I'm not going and looking for sizes outside of my size. If I do, I'm looking for her or my daughter or my sons. I'm looking for somebody else in the family. I'm not. The selling is just something. To be honest with you, where the selling comes in is I buy stuff because the way it works, you buy it, you get home, and sometimes it don't fit. And like I've got a shirt that I'm gonna bring you because the motherfucker, I guess, dry cleaned it the whole time they had it.
You washed it and it shrunk up.
And so when I brought it home and washed it, I swear to God, it'll fit you. Maybe Panic, but it'll fit one of y'all. And I was like, I'm just gonna give this to, one of the two Johns because it went from fitting me in the store with a T-shirt on. Because a lot of times if it's a button-up shirt or a jacket or something of that nature, I'll try it on. Unless it smells really bad, then usually I won't even buy it. Well, see, some folks wear some rotten ass fucking perfume. That's beside the point.
And it'll get it all. Yeah, I'm waiting for this one to come out in titanium.
But I brought that shirt home. I threw it in the washer. I got it out of the washer, and now it'd fit a dwarf. And so I was like, well, it'll fit one of the two Johns probably. I mean, it's a Lucky Brand shirt, so it's not a cheap shirt.
Dude, that's awesome.
I mean, it's probably I don't know what Lucky Brand costs nowadays. I don't buy it off, it's retail, but I know that it's normally a higher end. It's kind of up there with the price of like Ralph Lauren and all that, Tommy Bahama and all that kind of shit.
Thank you, Michael, because I was having no luck. Let's pull it up and share it. Oh yeah, I was looking at it. Here we go. It was called something different. I was spelling it different. Here it is. And I do buy most of my knives from White Mountain Knives because you get I feel like I get a good deal there.
Well, and it's good customer service. I think the last few knives that I bought, come from White Mountain Knives.
Dude, I love that blade. I
Well,
love that pill shaped flipper
uh,
hole.
TPK, I bought a couple of knives from too. So it'd be a toss up between White Mountain Knives and TPK.
Yeah, I like TPK for what they've got, right?
Yeah, because I bought a Geck and a Shatton Morgan from TPK, and then I bought some QSPs uh, and a Kaiser, I think, a Concept. I don't. I'd have to go inside and look, but either a Concept or a Kaiser from White Mountain Knives were the last ones I bought from them. Uh, I mean, I like both of them because their customer service is outstanding.
They are. I mean, there's no questions asked. And I told you about that Tucson that I recently got from there, right? That they sent me two by mistake because I had three
Oh,
knives
yeah,
come in.
yeah.
And I
You
reached
told
out
me.
to him and he sent me a label. I felt bad. He was like, "Well, if you want to send it back," and I was like, "Dude, I should send it back. I didn't pay
Well,
for this one."
yeah. To me, that's just.
The right
I
thing
mean,
to do. But what I'm
the right
telling,
thing to
I
do
told
because
G Ball the other night because I was showing him that's a bad looking knife, guys.
I mean, you take White Mountain Knives, Blue Creek Knives. Those are two knife dealers that take really good care of the knife community.
I agree.
They don't look at us, at least the way both of them act, they don't look at us as numbers. Where you go to Knife Center or Blade HQ,
Smoky
uh,
Mountain Knife Works,
Smoky Mountain Knife Works, the big three, they
or
look at
even
it as number. Now, as you get into like Rec and GP knives, your customer service goes up a lot. But
exactly, or even E knives. I know a lot of people have a problem
yeah,
with them, but they've been wonderful to deal with.
well, e knives they're great for the only thing with e knives is that one little thing that's can be it's only aggravating if you're the unlucky fucker at the show that gets in line behind them. If you're across the country, like when they went to Blade Show, Texas, I mean, I don't know how far the damn show is from where me and you live, but let's just say it's 1,000 miles. It's 1,000 miles away. I'm not going to get to go because it'd be 1,000 miles worth of gas, a few $100 worth of hotel, all that kind of stuff. So me buying the MSI off of e-knives at a markup, I'm still saving money.
Right. If
I
you
mean,
went to
I'm still
procure it
saving.
yourself,
Right. If I was to went through the process of getting that knife on my own, I would have had to pay the money for gas, the money for the hotel, and the money for the entry fee. Well, a hotel in Dallas, which is where I think it was the Dallas area, is where Blade Show, Texas is at. Um, but either way, it's in one of the cities. It may be in, you know,
where's the capital? Where's the capital of Texas? Fort Worth? I think it was
Austin.
Fort Worth.
I think Austin is the capital, but
Yeah, you're
it
right.
may be Fort Worth. But either way, all the cities, I don't want to stay in the ghetto prostitute hotels, so I'm going to have to pay at least $150, $200 a night for a room. And so you do that for a couple of nights. You done spent $400. So hell, you done bought the fucking knife just on your hotel room.
No, One Moon, it doesn't sell out, buddy. You can get tickets the day of the show. Now,
Yeah,
VIP early bird sold out,
yeah,
but that's only an hour you get, and we didn't really take advantage of it. We had it last year.
yeah. That I really don't know who would be the. Every year it seems like there's a target at Blade Show. Now there's obviously random targets. there's the big ones that people are always going to hit the Strider booth. People are always going to hit,
Arius.
Yeah, Bill Koenig. Of course, Oz isn't going, so or if he goes, he's not showing.
But I respect him in
Unless
a
he's
big
changed his
way.
mind.
No, I
But
respect him in a big way. I don't think he will because he got really
there goes
frustrated.
John. I'm froze too.
Do we freeze? I didn't freeze, did I?
Yeah, you froze, or I froze. One of us froze. I might have froze. You went into a loop for a second.
I felt loopy.
But I mean, there's always those guys that are targets that are going to get hit hard. But most of your knives at Blade Show, you don't need early bird for.
No, I don't think so either.
And even usually Strider, even those guys usually don't sell out in that hour. Because I know what's the little tiny girl that does the videos that's got fucking gangster ass collection. I can't think of her name.
Not Haley. Carrie? No. Everyday
Eating.
Yeah. What's her name though? Carrie?
I can't remember, but she was talking about. I think it was the Arius that or it might have been the Oz Roosevelt. It was something like that. That a friend of hers was like, "Hey, they got some. You want one?" And she wasn't even at the show and was like, "Yeah, I want one." And he went and got her one, or she.
He PayPal'd her. Yeah, she PayPal'd him the money. I remember her talking about that. So you can get them. I mean, I think the smaller shows you stand a better chance.
Well, I mean, it depends on it depends on what the maker brings. Is the maker prepared for the show? Like when me and you went to Nashville and Demko was there, I think he only brought like 30 knives.
Yeah.
For a 3-day show. 30 knives at a 3-day show when you're the hottest ticket in town at the moment is a joke. I mean, truthfully.
Yeah, it's almost a slap in the face in a way. I mean, granted, they were able to brand themselves and sell knives. They don't really need the branding because it's the people know what they're looking for.
Well, I mean, I like the knife. I mean, the 80-20 is a great
knife. I
knife.
want the 20 point, not the 20.5. I want is the 80-22 that's a little shorter. There's another one that came out.
So I didn't know he changed the name. I just thought he called it smaller.
I know they've got the 80-20, but they've got a shorter one that they make, the US made. Is it a 20.5? They don't call it a 20.5, do they?
20.5 is the made in Taiwan.
Right. I've got 3 of those. I love that knife.
Yeah, it's a great knife. And so I think Mr. Carter's here. I haven't been paying attention.
Todd Carr, what's up, buddy? Yeah, they don't give discounts on. There's certain knives like Hinderers, Jack Wolf's, and the reason is those makers, I think, are legit that they don't want people to get special deals. It's not that they don't want to make more money on their knives. They just don't want anybody to feel like they got a better deal than somebody else. They want everybody to sell their knives for the same price. And they let the dealers make money by doing that.
Yeah, I know Spyderco and Benchmade very, very, very strictly enforce their map pricing.
What's up, Blade Review?
It's not that a retailer can't sell it at a lower price. They just can't advertise the lower price.
That's one of the knives I carry today.
And Spyderco and Benchmade will cut your throat over it as far as doing business with you.
And that's legit, though. That's the way it should be. I mean, you don't want people undercutting you just because they think that their expenses aren't as high as the next guy, so they're undercutting them all the time. That's no fair.
Yeah, it's
and this is what I carried in my left pocket.
They do allow exceptions from time to time. Well, I've never known a Spyderco to, but I know there to have been sales on Benchmade knives. But it's usually like the Bug Out or the Griptilian, the Presidio. It's usually where which the Presidio is a great knife.
Yeah,
Way
well,
better than that new knife they got that I don't forgot, the Ascend or whatever it's called.
what I want is that Marauder, not the Marauder. Is it the Mediator? The little switchblade. They've got a little automatic that I really like.
One of them is Mediator.
It's the Mediator. It's the one I like.
But
Pocket Metal, what is up, brother? You up and about? I'll send you a link, my man. I'm gonna send it to you right now. He's probably just gonna bounce out of here. If I show my slip joint 3 times, it makes Shane turn into a pumpkin. Asshole. He did. He said, if you showed it 3 times, I'm out. And then we tried to message him and he didn't show up. He fucking bounced.
Well, I don't get that. I mean,
well, he was just being Shane. You know how Shane is.
I don't understand being so sensitive.
Pocket Metal, pop on, brother. It's good to see you, my man. Yeah, I mean, there's so many good knives, guys. Like this one I was showing y'all earlier. I hear you, buddy. But don't eat the sweeties. Don't eat Dottie and Lulu. We'll be here when you get out. But this knife right here, again, I would put this up against my Chavez in the way that it feels. And that's what I've got to invest in, a little $12 Amazon scale. Because that's one thing, since I've gotten into measurements, I don't have a scale. But I guarantee you these are within an ounce or 2 of each other. They're not that much different. This has a full steel liner, so it feels like a knife.
What Chaz was talking about, the reason I know why Spyderco does it, and I'm sure it's probably the same with Benchmade and other knife manufacturers, is if you take somebody like at the level of Blade HQ or Knife Center, they can buy knives at such a volume and get such a volume discount that a smaller retailer doesn't get, that the smaller retailer would never be able to succeed as a retailer if they had to compete with the larger retailer that can get, because most of the knives that you buy, like if you buy a knife from Blade HQ, and it may be less than this, but I know for a lot of retailers, they pay 50% of MAP is what they buy the knife for. And I'm talking about your general knives. I'm not talking about your Sprint, anything special like a lot of them did dealer exclusives of the mini JK. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your general production knives. They get them for roughly 50% of the MAP price. So if the minimum advertised price is $150, typically the dealer paid $75 for it. But if you take a smaller dealer, like we have one over in Huntsville that's a very small dealer.
I was scared to go in there, Knives and More.
Yeah, but
I'm terrified to go back in there.
He's paying, I'm sure, for that $150 knife, he might be paying $100 for the knife. And then if you take Blade HQ, who buys so many of them, who's going to buy 1,000 of them at a time, or whatever, some ridiculous amount, compared to his 10, he's going to buy 10 knives at $100 a piece. Blade HQ is going to buy 1,000 knives and probably get them for $50 a piece or $60 a piece. And so what would happen is if they allowed them to just do a free-for-all on their pricing because they bought it, they should be allowed to sell it how they want, then the little shops like Knives and More would never be able to sell anything because they, Blade HQ could sell them at $100 and double their money. Well, that's what John's paying, the guy that owns Blades and Knives and More, that's what he's paid.
Yeah.
So he can't, he couldn't even remotely keep up with them. And so you take, the minimum advertised pricing, map pricing, it gives you can sell them for whatever you want. It's just Spyderco won't renew your deal. They just won't sell you any more for what you did. And
We're waiting for
I know Spyderco was a big cutthroat on that.
Middle Complex to finish his giveaway. They're like 870 people over there. He's giving away 3 knives. I almost left and went over there. But no, I think that's just absolute. How many David Andersons work? I know a David Anderson who's a guitar player, but when I want to go to Knives and More to look at fixed blades and slip joints, but I know that could be problematic because I get to handle them. But I think he only carries old slip joints. Remember when he got all that estate stuff in? Again, I'm not into multiple blades, but I would like to see. I think I'd look at his knives through a totally different lens in just a few months. I mean, I find myself looking at the slip joint section of websites, which are sections of the websites that I've always gone to that I've never looked at.
The thing I hate that I missed out on when he did that estate sale, and the only thing that was in a way aggravating, is so many of the knives were serrated. Me and you talked about that when we were there, and the time frame that a lot of those knives come from was when that whole tactical thing was really, really, really powerful, and everybody was carrying a black serrated blade. Uh, and that was unfortunate, but I missed out on some good knives still with that, because he had some really good prices on those old new in box bench made. I mean, they were in ZTs. I mean,
well, he sells to a lot of collectors and buys them back. That's why you get so many cool knives in there.
Yeah, and he gets random ass shit too.
And I think he's the guy that people go to sell their estate slip joints. I think he's pretty well known for that.
Well, he's got a lot of when it comes to slip joints, he's got a lot of backroom stuff going on. And I know he's got some serious heavy hitters that come in there. And when I say serious heavy hitters, I mean, I know guys that I've been in there when they've come in, when I was really involved in the whole slip joint world. Well, I won't say really involved. I went to the Case Collector Club meetings that he has over there, or used to have over there. I'm assuming he still does. There were guys that every year, Case puts out their catalog. They would just come in and write a check and buy the whole catalog.
They collected that deep.
Yeah, every knife that Case put out every year, they would just walk in there, write a check, and they would order the display cases. They would order the knives. They would order everything in the Case catalog
that they would sell.
That Case was
nailed down.
Knife related, they would buy. Now, they wouldn't buy all the hats and T-shirts and things of that nature, but I'm about knife cases, knife rolls, displays. I remember I was in there one day and a guy bought some, fucking Jack Daniel's whiskey barrel display thing full of case knives.
Where in the world would you set that up? In your man cave?
Well, I mean, you've seen some of the houses on the mountain over there in Huntsville.
Yeah.
I mean,
if they're into those type of knives, that is, Michael Morgan, that is a baller move.
I mean, when you live in a 8,000, 10,000 square foot freaking mansion,
and you've got a basement that's just your man cave with your big flat screen 72-inch TV and your knife collection, that's when you've reached it.
I mean, I've been in some of those houses up there years ago, delivering furniture. And I used to help my brother-in-law years ago, and he worked as, delivering furniture. And I've been in some of those houses, and yeah, you go into because of the way they're built on the side of the mountain, there are multiple levels, and you
enjoy yourself, Gross John, and hang out with that baby.
I've been in some of them where the bottom level is nothing but bar, swimming pool, movie theater, blah blah blah. All that shit you used to see on like MTV Cribs.
And the nice collections of whatever you're collecting.
Yeah, I mean, you would see, like we would be delivering these theater seats, and because they had a fucking movie theater in their basement, literally, and they would have these big luxurious leather cushion, what was the name of the company? I can't think of the name of the company. It wasn't Lazy Boy,
No, it's
but it was another company that made I mean, like one chair would weigh 300 pounds. And that's why I would end up having to go and help him deliver them. It was a fucking chore to get them in these houses and down the stairs and this, that, and the other. But, yeah, one chair would weigh like 300 pounds, and it's all electric with motors inside of it, and heated and vibrated and air conditioned, and, refrigerated built in, where you could have drinks in the arms. I mean, it's freaking crazy.
It's just comfort on all levels.
Yeah.
If anybody's looking for a small fixed blade for less than $100, White Mountain Knives has these little Callies. They're made by Mercury Knives in Italy. They're little full tang knives, N690. And they make this little sheep's foot, and they make a drop point that's really more like a clip point. To me, it looks like a little Bowie. I wasn't crazy about it because usually I would buy them both. But it's really for like $88 before the discount. Micarta. It's small, and it comes with this little kind of cheap leather sheath, but it does have a clip on it, and it does retain the knife real well for a pocket dropper. Just pointing that out. And I noticed when I was on White Mountain earlier that they still got these. I have no affiliation with them or anybody, but just sharing is caring.
Well, I mean, it's about where you can find stuff that you may be interested in.
Absolutely. Bama Ninja Timmy, what is up, brother? Lane recliner? Somebody just put that in the chat. Is that what you were thinking?
People lounger.
People lounger. The big daddies.
Yeah. The company was called People Lounger. And I remember because my brother-in-law was friends with the guy that owned the furniture. He's passed away now, but owned a furniture store here in town. And that's how, and Jeff actually worked for him when him and my sister first got married. I was still in high school. And Jeff would still help him out because my brother-in-law's business is right around the corner, literally, from the furniture. The guy that had the furniture business from where his furniture store was at. And so Jeff would get wrangled in because Mark was old and wasn't in great health and this, that, and the other. And that's how we would get wrangled into it. And then Jeff would wrangle me into it, and I would end up having to go help him because Jeff's getting old too now. I'm getting old, so when you got a bunch of fucking old men, it takes a bunch of old men to try to move that kind of furniture.
Oh, I bet. Take me saying no, thank you.
But I mean, that's what you do when you know the people. I guess you just can't. I mean, you did that when I moved from where I was at to here.
Oh yeah, we look out for each other when it's about that. And I'll tell you, Jeff ballsed up when I moved and brought his van over and loaded up a bunch of stuff. So he was bitching at me the whole time, but I was happy to have him do it. But what I'm going to do while we sit around here is I'm going to start a StreamYard giveaway now that I've shipped everything out, with the exception of Dang Ross, who needs to send me his address. Let me do this. You entertain the people for a second there.
What Urban Woodsman is actually a brilliant idea. Across the street, I live next to a school, and across the street they used to have a handball court, and they tore it down last year.
Why?
During the summer, and well, the school they're not using it as a school anymore. And I was thinking what he was talking about would have been a great idea. What up, Bluminati Ninja? would have been a great idea in that inside that handball court, because I mean it was wide open. It was just this big fucking concrete, cinder block wall that was in, three-sided or whatever, and one side was completely open. And I just thought, with the kids up and down the street and in the neighborhood behind my house, uh, doing what he said, which is hanging up a big old sheet and doing some kind of a movie. Uh, I don't know what movie. I mean, I don't watch TV, so I wouldn't know. But my son would be able to tell me what to watch. Of course, he would probably pick Friday the 13th or some shit like that, but just to mess with the other younger kids in the neighborhood. But I just thought that would be neat when we moved here, and I saw that handball court was still there from when I was a kid.
I used to love whacking at the handball. We did it up at our little neighborhood pool, Mountain Spring swimming pool. And we also had this game. There was a hole over in one corner all around the deck of this public pool that's up right by the three caves up at the
So y'all
foot
had
of the.
y'all had a glory hole at the public pool?
It was, dude, it was the most glorious hole because what it was in the concrete, and there was a faucet down there. So it sunk down about this far. Well, we had a game where we'd play 18 holes with the tennis ball from the pool and around the pool, trying to get the tennis ball in the hole. Dude, It
Yeah.
was awesome. I'm talking when we were 10, 11 years old. We loved it. Just absolutely loved it.
Well, the school next to my house was the original high school for Athens from, I don't know, I think the 30s or something like that. So now it's public's work, part of the school system still, but it's
They're not using it as a teaching facility.
right. It's administrative stuff, and so that's why they tore the stuff down, is because the stuff that they tore down was next to where the school systems maintenance department's at, and I guess they needed more land for asphalt and parking. I don't know, but
Man,
yeah,
Huntsville is insane. I went today to meet with a client with one of the AEs who has they're doing these apartments over off. It's called the Lofts at Dallas Mill, and it's right by this old mill. If you go down Andrew Jackson away from my house, Dark Gravity, and before you get to Oakwood, the last left, you turn left, and right under the interstate, they've built these badass looking Art Deco lofts. The lofts are like 400 to 800 feet. They have beds that fold up. They've got everything like in one room, and they're like $1,000, but they're kind of nice. I mean, what's weird is it's minimalistic, and you can get a 2 or 3 bedroom or 2-bedroom apartment there. But if you drive around Huntsville when y'all are here tomorrow, look at all the big apartments going up, huge ones.
I saw when we went to unclaimed baggage a few weeks ago. I was on the interstate and I saw those lofts that you're talking about, and I thought they were neat looking.
They are. You probably went right over them, literally, because when we were there, I was thinking, how bad would it suck to live there? Would you hear traffic all the time? You're living under an overstate. I mean, under an overpass. That's why they moved out all the homeless people.
Well, see, I live next. Well, I don't live next to the train tracks. I mean, I live close enough that you can hear them. But the only time I hear them is when I'm on the live. I don't hear the train or pay attention to the train or notice the train, because I don't live near a train crossing. It's just the town that I mean, it's a half a mile away, but trains are fucking loud. And so I just hear it roaring through town. But I never noticed it unless I'm on here with you, or I'm talking to you on the phone, or somebody else on the phone.
And it never comes through your speaker. I mean, I'm sure you can hear it in your ear, but we never hear it.
Right. But we'll see, and that's, like I said, the only time I ever even notice it, though. Like, I can be sitting out here watching something on my phone or talking to Lo or something of that nature, and I'll never notice it go by, because it's just part of living in town. Uh,
Yeah, you get used to the
you block out
noises
the
to
yeah.
where if you go somewhere where it's totally silent, you'll have trouble sleeping for a couple of nights.
Oh,
If you're
dude,
used
yeah. I can't even stand to listen to myself eat. I can't eat in silence.
See, that's
Isn't
why I think I sleep such irregular hours. Like when Grateful Panic came home the other night, I was dead asleep on the couch and I probably slept for 2 hours, woke up, went back to sleep, and then was fully awake like at 2:30. So I filmed a couple of videos. It was totally still. I can still hear my tinnitus in my ear because I do have tinnitus, but it was just the still of night is where I get my work done. I mean, if I can be conscious and not tired, but then I'll take a nap at like 5 and sleep from like I'll be up, I'll have taken my medicine that I take every morning, fall back asleep sitting up. It's just weird. I take these little cat naps, just a series of them.
uh, yeah, Byron, you're welcome to move down here with us.
Byron, we would love it, buddy. We're still planning. Last year we got sidetracked on our Southeastern meetup, but we're going to do it this year, hopefully this fall.
Well, no, Byron's talking about the Huntsville being such a great place to live because of the overall
It
cost of living and standard of living and all that kind of stuff.
it
Uh,
is. Cost of living's going up, but the wages here are fantastic. If you look for them, if you're willing to get them.
yeah, the thing about here is like where I work at. I mean, it's a serious competition. You can't. I mean, the jobs are here and available, and um, I mean, it's definitely a great place to live. I've lived in Chicago. I lived in San Diego for a little while. Lived in Virginia for a little while. I lived in Nashville for a little while, and I have no intention of ever leaving again.
Me neither. I mean, I could. Things could take me away. I mean, work could take me away, but it won't be till after my parents are long gone.
It's even with my work with working where I do, I could move. I mean, they got plants from California to North Carolina, from coast to coast. Then they even got plants overseas that they do. They work in conjunction with. They got them in Japan, I know. Uh, and but I would never. I would, and I'm happy where I'm at, and they've asked me about doing this job and that job, and I'm like, look, I don't
Night,
want.
buddy.
Where I work at, it's normally swing shifts, and I'm straight days. I'm one of besides office personnel, as far as guys that work on the floor in the plant, there is 6 of us that are straight days. No, 7. I forgot about Damon. There are 7 of us that are straight days that are not in some form of management. The thing about management is you're only allowed to be there for 3 years. Then you have to move to a
That's part
different
of the
place.
condition. Keep
Well,
talking, buddy. I got to grab one more knife. Keep talking.
that's part of the condition because of issues that you run into when it comes to management. Uh, and because they don't like the whole favoritism, they don't like buddy buddy system, they don't like you getting too close to vendors, they don't like you getting too close to anything because of the financial issues that come along with that. And so, anytime that you have management where I'm at, they end up making you want to move after so many years. Um, so I don't ever want to be in management, and I'd have to change jobs. Um, so I'm gonna stay on my straight days. Everybody I work with uh, wants me to quit, wants me to take a different job, so they can be straight days. I'm just not willing to do that. I'll not take the pay raise. I'll not take the anything that comes along with it just so I can stay where I'm at. I'm content. I won't necessarily say I'm always happy, but I'm content with where I'm at. Now John's been gone too fucking long. I don't know what else to talk about. I just made the shit up that I just said. And yes, Pocket Metal, it is Alabama. But it's also per capita the smartest city in the nation. So, or the second, it goes back and forth between Silicon Valley and Huntsville, Alabama as the smartest city in the nation.
Silicon Valley's taking a beating. Their banks are failing.
Well, no, Pocket Metal put on there, yeah, but it's something about Alabama. And I was like, yes, it's Alabama.
So, guys, this is my
All the places I've ever been, the people in Alabama are better. And no, if it offends anybody in here, I've lived in multiple states. I've traveled to multiple states, and I've been to multiple countries. And some of the best people I've ever met in my life are from the state of Alabama. Some of the worst people I've met in my life are from the state of Alabama. But as a whole, Alabama is not what it is portrayed to be in the media.
And I think North Alabama is different than the rest of the state. But I think the rest of the state, I've always met kind people. But
I've never been anywhere in this state and had an issue. But I have been in other states, including the so-called touchy-feely love everybody states like California, Chicago, which Chicago is the murder capital of the fucking planet, other than maybe Brazil, Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Sao Paulo.
But you know, the people here are genuinely friendly. They're not fake friendly. The people here are genuinely mean. They're not fake mean.
They're authentic.
They're authentic. I mean,
I don't know why I'm having trouble with this fucking knife.
Most of the things about people here is they just want you to leave them the fuck alone. Texas is the same way. Texas just wants you to leave them alone. Let them do their thing. They'll let you do your thing, and everybody's hunky dory. That's the thing about a few of the states. But I mean, yeah, it's. I mean, and you can say a lot of the same things for Georgia. I mean, Ed just made me think about that. I mean, Georgia's had a bad rap for stuff that happened in the past, but the people who did those things are dead and gone. And good riddance.
Now, the only thing I'll say about this knife, and this is Love Them Knives, it's a big son of a bitch. It's bigger than my 4Max, but it will lock fail. Doesn't bother me because I'm not going to beat it like that. And if you're putting straight pressure against the spine, there's nothing to it. You can feel it rocking. It's not going to fail.
If I didn't miss you.
Anyway, this lock has failed, but it's huge. So this is like my biggest knife in my collection. Bigger than right about the same size as the 4Max. Which I was surprised by that. Because the 4Max is probably my most overbuilt knife. But I love this knife. And it's paper cut and sharp. Came from the factory that way. And then the other knife that made me think about these knives and my big knives. You talk about a value. This is a Tucson knife. I probably showed it to y'all before. It's built like, name the big overbuilt American company here. It is D2, but I guarantee you could stick that D2 through a car door. And then it came with this little changladero, which is not a lanyard. This is a screw to go in this hole to make this knife not a fixed blade. Bearded Doom made this comment, and I thought it was very accurate, but it makes it a liner or a frame lock with an additional locking mechanism through the blade. So this knife is going to be shorter than the 4MAX, but in weight and in what I feel like is an overbuilt knife, this is probably my favorite overbuilt knife. And no, I don't use a little changladero. I put somebody's knife that I shipped today in a Tucson box because, like I said, I couldn't find all the boxes. I've got them all. I'm like, fuck it. I got to get these out. But I found this in the box, and it reminded me that it went with one of the knives, but it's this one right here. And this knife is on White Mountain's site right now. It's the TS 346, I think. I hope if I read the right side. TS 346. They make it in this gray, and they also make it in flame nano. Under $100. What a fun knife. Got a full back spacer, and I think it says Tucson, and it's got a designer tag on the back. I think it's a Moxar.
Moxar.
Yeah. And then the last big one, which was a little more expensive than the Tucson, but it was one of the first overbuilt knives I got when I first started collecting, and my first Max Ace is the Max Ace Sandstorm. And this is the D2 G10. Ow! And this will go through your fingernail. That one didn't, but you got to be very careful because this is a drop shutty mofo. And look how long this is.
Fucking 4MAX is just huge.
Dude, the 4MAX is so overbuilt because if you look at just the stock, the blade stock on the Sandstorm's got a longer blade, but that 4MAX is just so much meatier. But this Max Ace, what's it called? The Max Ace Sandstorm K, Bearded Doom has the full integral version of this for like, I'm guessing $500 to $700. This knife was $100 because it's a liner lock, G10, and D2, but it gives you the feeling of what a huge slicer. I can reverse finger flick this.
I didn't think that was that expensive. The integral was that expensive.
It might not be. It might not be. I'm just guessing.
They don't make it now, so it may be now. But I was thinking when it was originally made, it was in that $400 range.
Maybe it was the $400 range. I've only seen Max Aces recently for retail.
Well, it seems like I remember people talking about how much titanium, how much work and things of that nature that was when it come out as an integral, and how other companies are charging so much more money for an integral, and it's like
such a good knife. I mean, it really, if you're into big knives and you cannot lie and you don't mind, I mean, this is, like I say, $100 knife. Yeah, it doesn't have a back spacer, but Max Ace, I mean, those are my top 4 overbuilt chonkers. But then, yeah, there's the Vandal. But then my favorite Max Ace is the Babylon version 1. It's probably my smoothest button lock. M390. It's kind of got that Max Ace-y look. Whoops, I tried to use a stud. And then the best value, I still think, of any knife that was last year And this year is the Max Ace Black Mirror. You can go to Chicago Knife Works right now, and this knife is there for $125. When I got it, it was $142. Full titanium, fantastic lock bar access, M390, great blade, drop shut, small knife. For a Max Ace, the only thing I don't like about it, which some people might really like, is it's got this bronze colored clip and this bronze colored pivot collar. I wish it was just straight tie, but $142 or $125. And if you want the carbon fiber inlay, it's $128 at Chicago Knife Works and $148 if you go to Max Ace and buy it direct. Let me see if it's still in stock.
Blade Ogre's right. Sniper Blade Works makes some damn overbuilt bricks.
I like those. Are those the ones that are kind of curved like a pistol handle?
Yeah.
Are we still getting comments?
Jacob Vermey, or I guess it's Vermey, he commented the hashtag be up. Copper Light Steve just did a minute ago.
Can y'all see my screen? With Chicago Knife Works, or am I sharing something different?
You're sharing be up.
All right, let me stop. Let me do this. We'll come back to that. Keep putting be up in there.
I'm fixing to have to get ready to go to bed, John.
I know. I'm going to let you go. I'm just going to show you this great deal. I know you won't jump on it because it's too small for you. But guys, this is the Black Mirror that I just showed you. $124.80 or 4 interest-free payments of $31.20. It is M390, 3 1/4 inch blade. And look, if you like carbon fiber, so you can get for $124 the same price. You can get it with this raindrop carbon fiber that looks just like the raindrop carbon fiber. If you want to see what it looks like, I'll show it to you on my slip joint.
That looks good.
Or this one right here. Check it, dude. They're $124. I know it's $100, but this is, look at the lock bar access on this. Is that not strong? And it feels so good in the hand, in the pocket. And the customer reviews, I mean, you'll read about them. They're all great.
It's another example of, are we getting what we pay for with some of these other brands?
You're exactly right. Because if you look at the carbon fiber on this, and this knife, I don't mind telling you, there's one left at White Mountain Knives, but it's in white bone with titanium bolster, titanium liner. This knife was $100 and I want to say $24 or $48. Slip joint, satin, or a belt satin, M390 blade that is 0.08 behind the edge. It's scary thin. But that's the carbon fiber I think that you'll see inlaid into the Black Mirror. I like the full tie, but before they weren't the same price. So they've got those priced at the same price. They were $8 difference, which is nothing, but it was $8 more to get the carbon fiber inlay. And I couldn't tell the difference in those two carbon fiber inlays unless one of them was a darker knife. Yeah, I think one of them's kind of a dark color frame lock with the inset, and the other one's lighter. More of a natural. Can't really tell. Yeah, it's a lighter titanium. But yeah, guys, I'm going to share this one more time in case y'all are in the Black Mirror market. And no, I don't have any links or any codes. Who needs them when you can get it for $124? And I love Kaisers. As you guys know, my early blade collection, and I guess what I found, Dark Gravity, and I know you got to go, but I found a titanium. What's the slip joint called you bought from Kaiser when we were at
Zip slip.
Yep, I found one, $144, but I haven't done it yet. But guys, for $124.80, again, this is a great knife. I can vouch for it. It was my best value of last year. This is the one I've got, just because I like raw titanium. Lock bar access is banging. The action's banging. The hardware's awesome. The blade shape I like. But it is a smaller knife, especially for a Black Mirror. Let me go back to our giveaway tool, because I know Dark Gravity wants to go, but I'm going to let us give this away before he goes.
I wanted you to look at something before.
Yep, tell me what to look at.
On USA made blade,
Okay.
look at the EOS Mini Nautilus.
Ooh, I've oogled the EOSs before. Let me find that one. They changed their site up. All right, let me stop sharing. Let me start sharing. I've got knives on my mouse pad. That Formax will get in the way. I'm just telling you. All right. And what are we looking for?
The EOS Mini Nautilus.
I hate their search bar. The user experience sucks. Mini?
Yeah, it's the Mini. They don't have a full size one on there.
Let's see it. Oh, dude. What is that? Is that light titanium and dark titanium, or is that Zircuti?
Oh, I hadn't read the specs. I just thought it was insane looking.
Dude, it's insane looking. It's gorgeous. I love that blade. It's like my hedgehog on just Angry Acid or on PCP. All right, when I close this down, it's going to show me how much it is. Not that bad. Is it? They're made in America, aren't they? Yeah, made in the USA.
Yeah, they're USA made.
Dude.
But what's crazy is if you read the description that Woody's got on there, he says it's a flat ground blade, but it's and it's CPM 30B, it's CPM S60B, and it's flat ground, but it's still a compound grind. The only drawback, I mean, the blade length is 3 inches, but the cutting edge is 3.25.
Wow.
But I just thought it was a fucking hoss, and it's crazy looking, and I was like, yeah.
Dude, well, I love going. This is one of the sites I check, and this is where I've gotten in trouble with hinderers. And I'm glad you gave me the XM24. Take a look at that, because that got me off the fatty.
Yeah.
But
well,
see,
the fatty still, I still like the fatty. You were just asking about the how thick it was, and it's basically the same thickness as the XM24. But
right.
The XM24 is still a huge knife by comparison, because you got the thickness plus an extra ½ inch of blade plus extra handle.
These have dropped everywhere, by the way. The Chavez kickstarts.
I don't like flipper only, so.
No, I don't either. But they get the flipper tab goes away, which is cool.
But no, I want to get one of
those.
That's
a good looking tour knife. I've never liked a tour knife before.
I still want to try out one of these Dorado, EOS Dorado knives too. I mean, I don't know how good they are. The only thing that gets me about them is their blade length.
They started carrying Three Rivers.
Yeah.
It sold out pretty quick.
I just need them. I need EOS to make knives with blades that are like 3.5 inches long.
Did you know Greg Medford makes a slip joint?
Well, I know he makes. I know he makes the ask.
Right, but I found when I was looking, just going through other websites, looking at slip joints, when I would just go in, there's one that's really thin, the Gentleman Jack.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember seeing that on
Dude, look how thin it
what,
is.
why did my mind OCD? Justin had one of them.
I mean, look how thin it is for a Medford,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
think it was
only
Justin.
it's
I think it was
only
Justin. I'm not sure, but I think it was
blade
Justin.
length 3.1, close length 4 inches. I mean, I think it's pretty cool.
Now, see with like a slip joint, I don't mind a 3-inch blade. It's the if I'm and I don't know why because like I mean I carry this zip slip all the time. What the fuck did I do with it? There it is. I mean I carry this zip slip all the time, and
I
it's
love that little knife.
uh I mean I don't even know if it's even got a 3-inch blade, and I love it, but I mean uh the J capes is 3.5, and so I mean you can see I would say it's under 3 inches. Uh, but I carry it all the time. And but if it's a locking knife like this, I won't. And it may just be the different individual designs. And like the zip slip has a huge finger choil, and so that may be part of the reason I'll carry it and like it. But normally, I mean, there's a lot of knives that I've sold or gotten rid of that have a 3 1/4 or 3-inch blade, and I never carry them or use them. But then there's this one, and it may be the fact that it's solid titanium, so it gives it some weight. It may be that choil, but it's the same thing with the Spartan Harsey because I've got the 3.25 Spartan Harsey, and it may be the titanium gives it some weight, and I don't know, but
Dude,
those
you
are the
love
only
that
two.
knife when you picked it up. I think it's just something that really fits your hand, and I liked it. I was just
Um,
looking for it here on the back websites because I found it, and I can't remember what site I found it on. But there are a bunch of G10 ones out there for like $60, but then they had this titanium for 140. Well, wait a minute. Here's one on Amazon.
I
For
think the one I got because I got it on sale for 120, I think.
this one's 101. I can add it to cart. Only 5 left. Add to cart now. Hold on, guys. What
Oh,
in the world?
I done got John in a rabbit hole.
You did. You did. This is 100%. You should have gone to bed. What else do I have in my
I
cart?
told you I was going to bed. I told you I was going to go to bed, and you said, "Hang on a minute."
I'm kidding. I don't want you to go to bed. All right.
Uh,
Place my order.
you're on Amazon.
Yep. On the back side here. But I'm about to show the code because I want to give this away. And I want to change this to go down and do this. And then I want to go do this. And I'll be right back with you guys. Keep talking. I love you all.
Is 2.84 is the blade length? Yeah, Amazon's got it for 101.
Yep, I'm grabbing that biatch.
2.84-inch S35 blade,
Is it a
6AL4.
double D10 or is it a slip joint?
Huh?
Is it a double D10 or a slip joint?
It has a patented by Mike Bagnino slip joint system.
So is it filled? Is it a solid spring?
It,
Doesn't have to be. I've got all kinds of weird ones.
if you look, normally your half stop is here, halfway. Well, this one, it's right here, maybe 40% of the way, 45% of the way. But the big thing with it, and of course you can't see because I can't aim for the fucking camera, is when you open well, maybe do it like that or like that. When you open and close it, fuck, I suck at this. When
You'll
you
get
open
it.
and close it, it doesn't move the back spacer. It's inside. And I don't know how it works. I've never took it apart. But the function of the back spacer, whatever it does, to do like if you take a normal slip joint, as you open it, you see this spring down the back move. But with this one, you don't. And so whatever causes the slip joint function is hidden behind this. It's in there somewhere doing its thing.
Do you love it?
Oh, I love it. I carry it all the time.
And it's got a clip.
Yeah, yeah. It's got and it's a spring clip. It's not a machine clip because I don't. That's one of the things I like about it is it's a spring clip. It's not machine because I hate fucking machine clips because I mean no, I don't hate all of them, but a lot of machine clips don't work worth shit to me.
I'm gonna hold
Um,
off on it because I got a better use for my $100. But I am gonna buy this scale while I'm here. How do I get this out of my cart? I gotta go back. All right, I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna quit doing that. I'm gonna share this. We're gonna see how many people we've got, and we're gonna ask people to put it in if they haven't yet, and then we're gonna find a winner. And the great news is I'll probably be able to ship it tomorrow if you email me your address tonight because I'm caught up. I've got a couple more for some late.
and just so you guys know, if he does meet me tomorrow, which
He
there's
will.
no, I'll remind him on his way home or wherever his next destination is after I meet with him that he needs to go by
UPS store.
the UPS store and drop y'all shit off.
Hey, Brandon Sutton. Welcome,
Um,
brother. Put B up, hashtag B up in the giveaway because we're going to be giving away in just a few minutes this SIM cut. Right now, there are only 37 of y'all in there, and it's the Scepter, which is my favorite. It's got thumb studs and a flipper tab. Micarta.
I'm not trying to get you to end early or nothing, John. If you want to keep going, I
No,
mean,
I'm going to keep going for a little while. I'm going to let you go, but I'm going to keep going just to get closer to Satisfaction. But I'm going to have to bail for a pizza here at some point, a Mexican pizza. But I'm gonna go for at least 3.5 hours. But you jump anytime you need to, buddy. I'm not gonna keep you here. I'm just trying to adjust my cart.
S60V isn't. I don't. It's actually an upgrade over S90V and S30V. The thing with S60V is it was a lot more chippy because I think it got too hard and nobody wanted to use it because it's such a bitch to machine. And I'm answering Jeffrey Dawson's question the best I can recall. I mean, nobody uses S60V hardly. I've got one knife in it, but
Sugar Bandito,
S60
welcome. Paper
S60V
Bear.
was originally CPM 440V. Uh, and I don't, the composition, I mean, was all of them are based on 440C. ATS 34, 154 CM, S30V is based off of 440C. That was one of the things, if you go back and look at some of Laren Thomas's old videos, he talks about how most of your knife stainless steels are just different versions of 440C. You know, they started with that and just kind of tweaked it. So you could make the argument that it is. But S60V is actually older than S30V and S90V. For a while, that's what originally come on the Spyderco military. I think when it first come out was
I
CPM
love it, Twang
440V.
Tang.
But I mean, it's still something different. I think is the big thing, and it's so difficult to find on a pocket knife for me. Yeah, Brandon's talking about how S90V was 420 of the base. Like I said, I can't remember all the details, but they are all related. They're all modifications on each other, and so it's. I mean, I don't know. It's how to put it other than basically it's a cake just with different flavors. They took, or it's all the same base cake just with different icing. Anyway, you're right. Kind of.
Kind of, sort of. Well, you're the closest thing to a metallurgist because you're around it all the time.
Yeah, it's. I don't. The problem is I don't remember all the nuanced details, but of how it all happened and things of that nature. But like I said, it sometime in the early mid 90s, somewhere in that time frame. It's the best I can remember when it come around, and it was CPM 440B. And then later on, they changed it to S60B, and 420 is still, and that's true.
420 is still my favorite number.
Yeah, there's 400, there's 410, there's 420, and there's 440. And then there's 440, there's 420 HC, there's 420J, which is actually a spring steel that, like a lot of your back spacers are. Then 420 is also used a lot with custom knife makers that make slip joints. They use it for their liners and their back spring. And then there's 440A, which is kind of pointless because it's really soft. You could argue whether 440B is actually an upgrade when it comes to knife steel. And 440C, honestly, is still a great knife steel. I mean, it'll get 60 to 62 Rockwell. It'll hold an edge. It's easy to sharpen. I mean, it's actually, like I said, to me, it's really still a great knife steel. It just doesn't fit our desire for Gucci. We got to have the latest and greatest and coolest shit. And of course, Gucci's a bad example because they've been around forever. But, our desire to have shiny new things. It's. I've got Brandon's bringing up other steels. I got a couple of books in there. John's seen them, and like the one from Crucible that I have that Crucible gave us years ago. It's like an inch and a half thick, and each page is a different steel. So that tells you how many steels there are. If you go to Carpenter's,
take care, Byron.
If you go to Carpenter's website, they have a list of like hundreds of steels. And to be honest with you, probably 50% of them can be used as a knife steel. You just have to look at the carbon content and the vanadium content and then how it's made.
I'm going to draw real quick. Keep talking, buddy, just so people can go to bed. I'm going to give y'all 5 more seconds. Put B up in there. Keep talking, buddy. I'm just doing this in the background.
When I worked and made the powdered steels, I mean, all of them, the formulas are very, very similar. It's mostly iron and carbon, and then the other stuff is just to give principles. And I mean, like I said, the biggest thing to look at is the carbon content. And then do you want it really hard? So you throw in some vanadium maybe, or some chromium. Do you want it shiny? So you throw in some chrome. And then beyond that, it really, to me, gets what Jeffrey's saying about they were all designed especially for knives is that was the intent by Crucible as to where they were going to sell them. But I promise you, if they could make more money somewhere else selling them, they would. I mean, that's just how it works. That's why you don't see a lot of Carpenter powdered steels available. I mean, you see CTS XHP. I don't forgot the one that Spyderco uses a lot on their base model knives.
Howdy, acid test kids. Broke Arizona knives.
There's
Broke ass knives.
There's a Carpenter, and Ed's right. The heat treat, the furnaces are better, and the processes are a little more understood now. But it's mostly that the equipment that they use to do the heat treats better. BD1N, that's it. The Carpenter that makes those powdered steels is actually down the road from where I live. And I promise you, they're not focused on us. They're focused on that thing that's a little bit further down the road from us, from me, kind of in between me and John, and it's called NASA.
Yeah.
And Missile Defense Command, because that's their primary customer for their fancy powdered steels is the Army and NASA. That's why they built the facility here, is to cater to them and all of their needs. You know, and that's, I mean, they make a lot of great steels there that can be used for knives, but they don't make it in the way that you would use it for a knife. They make blocks or ingots or whatever you want to call it for machining purposes. They don't make sheets for guys like us so we could buy it and cut shit up with it. They end up turning it into bar stock and squares and wrecks and things of that nature for people to be able to take and make aircraft and missile parts and parts to the space shuttle or satellites and all that shit. And Crucible just happened to focus on us with a small smidge of where they make their money. Yeah, and G-Ball's right. That's the reason Essie has stuck with 1095. I wish they would have went with 440C instead of S35VN, because 440C is a lot tougher. You don't have the nearly the vanadium in it that you do. I'm not sure what's in 440C as far as the amount of vanadium, or if there is any. I can't remember off the top of my head the chemistry of it.
I'm so proud that I got my stuff shipped. That's all. And I'm telling Louie, if he goes ahead and emails me tonight, I'll get his boxed up with these other two. Dang, Ross left, but I hope he heard my message about him emailing me. I got G-Ball.
I'm hoping what's next is lightsabers.
Lightsabers, would that make it fun though? Because see, I almost bought, before I got into the knife game, a one wheel. I was watching one wheel videos. That's how I was served my first knife video. I guess because they crossed and thought that I'd be a good audience, which I was. But I'm a skateboarder, and I thought if I got a one wheel, I'd no longer skateboard. So if I got a lightsaber, would I need my knives? You know, it would just be one of those things that, especially a little lightsaber, that's when I'd like an out the front, because I don't care for an out the front. I don't want an out the front. I don't need an out the front. But you give me a fucking beam that'll come out the front, I am in. Even if it's like a 4-inch little jabber beam, like if it would only go zzz, I'd be in. I'd pay $600 for that. Oh, I know what I was going to show you. No, damn it. I must have closed it out. That's a shame. When I was looking at knives earlier, I came across, I'm going to go back a couple times and just see if this shows up. Nope.
What Terry's talking about, yeah, there are a few Carpenter knife blades. I think Spyderco's probably their biggest customer. But 204P is, and G-Ball brought it up. 204P is the one. It's actually a better version of 20CV and M390 because it's got a little tungsten thrown in with it, so it makes it a little bit tougher. So you get all the edge and so on and so forth that you get from M390 and 20CV if they heat treat it to its 62, 63.
Howdy, Jay.
But
Glad
with
you're here, buddy.
204P having that tungsten thrown in with it, you get a tougher steel.
What do you know about 01 tool steel?
About what?
01.
01 is just an oil quenching tool steel. It's fairly basic.
Yeah, I know it's real basic.
But I mean, a lot of your dies that are in tooling are 01 tool steel. So, I mean, it'll stand up to, and it'll get hard as fuck. The only thing, heat treating it's very prone to cracking where you have sharp corners.
Mm-hmm.
When I did heat treat, that was the thing we probably cracked the most was 01. Because a lot of times with 01, we wouldn't even wash it off. You would end up with oil baked on finish because we would have to put it straight into temper. Because if you did anything else to it, I mean, even though the wash was like 170, 180 degrees, it still wasn't hot enough to keep it from cracking. And so we would take it straight out of the oil furnace and put it straight into a tempering oven and temper it at at least 300 degrees to keep it from cracking, because it was just a very brittle steel, because it just didn't like sharp corners. Medflight.
You there, buddy?
Could you hear the helicopter?
I did. Now I can hear you.
I was gonna say because I couldn't hear shit. That's Medflight.
Oh, was that Medflight?
Yeah, I'm in the path for Medflight from Birmingham, and of course they fly 50 feet off the ground. So, but I'm also close to the hospital. Why they're so low to the ground.
All right, so it's a lookalike. I can't slice shit with it.
What?
This lightsaber.
Oh, yeah, it's
this.
That was some kind of engineering science deal experiment. Yeah. Some guys created, and it's not what the Jedis use.
I can save 20% and get it for $425.95. I think I'm gonna pass. I'm so proud of myself for not buying that slip joint, because I could have paid you too, but I'm thinking, no, I should be responsible. I've got 10 slip joints. I've got one coming tomorrow and one coming Monday. I don't need another one coming.
Well, and you got if we meet tomorrow, you got a Zebra coming tomorrow too.
No, yeah, that's just a grail of all grails. That's a beautiful knife, dude. I'm so stoked. Good night, Cooper Light Steve. Making a run for the airport at 4 a.m. I hope you're going somewhere fun or going home.
And if anybody out there is wondering, which probably nobody is, why I'm selling it, is because I'm scared to carry it and I'm not okay with it sitting in the case because it is too perfect that I'm scared I'm going to fuck it up. And then I would be mad that I fucked it up. And so I won't carry it. It's a psychological disorder is what it is.
Well, I'm going to keep it in good condition for you.
Huh?
I'm going to keep it in good condition for you. And if you want it back, then you get to buy it back.
It's basically, I'm not okay with a safe queen. And to me, it's a safe queen. And I'm not okay with it being a safe queen. It's very screwed up and, whatever.
I want to carry it, but I won't carry it to be hard with it. Is this it right here, G-Ball?
I can't see them damn little pictures. Why?
I'll make it.
It's bigger. Brother, Brother knives. Yeah, they make and I don't know. Of
I don't
course,
know if that's the one G-Ball got.
uh,
I have some XHP. Oh, G-Ball, do you see my picture, or are you making another conversation? You get me looking for something, then you're going to ignore me? What the fuck?
Jeffrey's fixing to spend some money.
Ooh, they are starting to carry Hermans. Did you see that? DLT's a Herman dealer now.
Yeah, I saw. Well, I saw where Jeffrey Dawson
That's
posted
what I
that
was
up.
wondering. I love that blade. Okay, I'm going back to Amazon. Y'all carry on your conversation. I can buy a $40 knife. That's not the same thing as 100 and, well, I don't know.
I
That looks a
mean,
lot like my
from what I understand, Brother knives are good for slip joint pocket knives.
yeah, G-Ball's got one, and he said it's just fantastic. And I'm looking at a video of one right now.
Well, I was gonna say, if you're curious about them, Patty Potato Peelers has done. I mean, I don't know how many, but I know he's done a number of videos on different Brother slip joints. I didn't even know they were available in America because the only place I ever saw them was on Patty's Potato Peelers for so
Well,
long, and
I
then
just checked out.
uh, so did you just buy one?
Yeah, might as well. I'm a Prime member. If I don't buy things, I feel like I'm losing money. I feel like I've got to buy a certain amount of things to take advantage of my free shipping, right? Hey, Mike Imler's live.
You get free shipping, but it's my wife's. I guess I am. I'm a Prime member too. So if I just dropped out, or if he dropped out.
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I just got double. Both of us dropped out for a second.
Elmer's live. I don't want to keep y'all from that shit now.
I didn't get in on it, Jeffrey, and the reason I didn't is because it's flipper only. I have an original Model One, a first generation Model One. Well, it's version 6 Model One, but it was from his first drop, and
Oh, y'all
it
just
sits
watched
in
me
the
buy
case.
that?
It sits in the case because it's a flipper only, and it's a great knife. Don't get me wrong. If you like flipper only, they're great knives. Um, but I just will not carry a flipper only knife, and I don't know why.
Ed,
I
that
just
video must be gone because I could not find it. And I noticed yesterday he did a 4-hour sharpening, 4.5 hour sharpening on YouTube all day. So he's back.
But
I'm
anyway,
sorry,
guys,
dude.
oh no, it's all right. I'm fixing to go to bed because I gotta get
You
up
got
at
to get up
5.
early and bring that knife over here after you shop so you can get some shopping
Yeah.
money.
Well, I've got to go get it and put it with my stuff so I don't forget it.
Well, if you forget it, we'll get it next time.
Oh
But if you,
no, it's I just got to set it on the bar next to my truck keys so I remember it.
and I'll be
But
over,
yeah,
I'll be somewhere in this area. I'm gonna go visit my mom, my bro over at my mom's. He's in town for Panoply.
G Ball saying Patty does recommend Brother. I think you're getting a good knife by getting it, especially at that price. But if you're curious about it, I would say go watch some of Pat. I don't know. I'd have to look. I'm not sure if Patty does playlists or not.
Patty's a
But
great guy. He's actually been in several of my lives and just come in and commented.
no, I'm just saying that on his
Here it is.
channel, I don't know if he does playlists, but I know he does a lot of. Um, I know he's done quite a few reviews of different Brother knives.
Yeah, this is
And
the little one, VG10, my Carta slip joint. I like the blade. It looks like a good little knife.
yep. But good night, everybody.
Night,
I will
brother.
see y'all. I'll see y'all in another live or next week or
See you next
something.
week, but I'll see you tomorrow. Good evening, Poke
Yep.
It Stuff. Later, brother. Love you, dude.
Y'all,
Maddie, I just picked one up. Hey, Dr. Drew, dude. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm not going to abandon y'all. I want to keep us closer to getting on Maddie said faction, which I think we're still about 45 minutes away from that. So we'll go about 30 more minutes, 20, 30 more minutes, because I've got to get to Taco Bell and get back to get my Mexican pizzas. Thanks for the info, G-Ball. So let's see, what else did I buy tonight? I bought something else. I forgot already. Tell you what I did get yesterday that's going to be delivered tomorrow is a boom arm, a bigger one that'll hold up this big ass mic. No, dude, I just pulled that first one and got it. I'm going to have to look for that. So are these all on Amazon? Brother CF Warney. Sorry, guys. Do you have it, G-Ball? Have you done a review on it? Exactly, gone awry. You've got to, buddy. I mean, I get my little shaving stuff. I get toothpaste. I get dog food. I get cat treats. I let him just work for it. I feel like he can afford it. Yes, I do, G-Ball. I do. And where did we find it? Did you find it on Amazon or did you find it somewhere else? Is this it right here? I'm about to show it to you. I think I found it. But why'd I just buy the other one? Am I gonna have to buy another one? I bet I can stop the order on my other one. Is this it, G-Ball? That's it? And you just got the micarta one, or did you not get the mi oh, you bought both? Sweet. Guilty as charged. Let me look at what else I bought. Oh, I know it was that little scale. I bought a kitchen scale so I can, start weighing knives when I do reviews. Because 'Cause I'm telling you, I don't know, G-Ball, if you were here, but I got this Migueron, not the Pagos, I've got it too. This is the Polona, and this thing feels every bit as meaty as my Chavez Street. You know how much this knife was on Amazon? 47 bucks. Take care, Dr. Drew. I've really been pleased. I've bought, I think, the latest set of Miguerons for the channel, and they are awesome. G-Ball, did you pick up that Tucson yet? I sent that one back today, so he'll have it in a couple of days. Well, he'll have it Wednesday. So does the Watchman carbon fiber, doesn't it look just like the one we ordered, or they look different? Are they different lengths, G-Ball? Are they different patterns at all, or are they just one's carbon fiber and one's micarta? I'll have to go back and check. I won't buy it right away. Because, guys, I am making my final layaway payment to my brother who just left us, Dark Gravity, for this night. And I am so stoked just to hang out with it. Find it, show it to you. Scrolly, scrolly. All right. Hopefully that was an email with an address to ship that knife to. Where is it? Here it is. Boom. They made 10 of these. Check this out. And I know I already showed it, but I'm stoked. We'll pick pick it up tomorrow. That's all engraved. Look at this backspacer. It's like jewelry. Little skulls with that writing on the underside. Anyway, I think that's pretty badass. I'm looking forward to showing it off on the channel. So G-Ball, are those patterns the same, buddy? Or are they different? I know they look different because one's micarta and one's carbon fiber, but with the blades different? Let me show you the best slip joint, and they're still available on Blue Mountain knives. The walk and talk on this Q-Vist Vanish 20 CV. This is a little banger, and it comes with this little slip for like $120, and they've got this one and the raw. And see, I've got a variant PE with titanium scales, which is the liner lock version. And then I picked up the little Flippy, which has just really strong walk and talk. I'd give it a 6, 7. But it's small, goes great in your pocket, has a little lanyard hole. It's not quite as cool. One's a drop point, one is a Warncliffe. Carbon fibers are warning. Okay, I think the micarta one I got was a. Let me go back and look at my Amazon stuff. Hold on. Orders. Yeah, my brother's. It's not a drop point. I wonder if I can get the carbon fiber and drop point. Let me show you the one I got, G-Ball. This is the one I ordered because I wasn't paying attention. Now the carbon fiber is thinner. It's definitely a different pattern. They're different knives. 158, 10. I want the lock back. Yeah, they look like really nice knives. I'm gonna have to look at those a little closer because I might have to. Yeah, I love a Sunday delivery too. I might have to. Wonder if I can find that brother in a drop point. I'm sorry, guys. I know this is boring because y'all can't see what I'm doing, and I'm being rude. I'm gonna come back to it right now. Brother, that's a lock back. They don't have a drop point. G-Ball. That's the drop point I got. The one that's kind of like a. I guess that is a drop point. I'm just calling it a Warncliffe. It's more of a. I got you. Carbon fiber. Brother Warncliffe. Whoops. Testing, testing. Can y'all hear me? Yep, you can hear me. 3780 with 5% off. Brother 1510. That's the one I'm looking at. Let's see. Yep. Nope. 1508. The 1510 is the one I bought, right? Let's see. Yeah, the 1510 is the one I bought. All right. So the Warney I was just calling that one a warning, even though you're right, it's a drop point. They've also got a really cool locking one that's kind of a clip point, but I'm gonna go for the carbon fiber slips. It's like, why are they gonna bring it to me Monday and not Sunday with the other one? Foldable non-slip. What's that mean? All right, I'm back. I added it to the cart. Yeah, G-Ball, I've jumped on it. I've got the is this the one right here? Tell me if this is the one I got, 'cause I've got it in my cart. Make sure I'm getting the right one. 'Cause I've got the other one you got, and I do trust your judgment. You've never led me wrong. So is that it, buddy? Oh, I know it is, G-Ball. You're is that it, my man? The 1508, is that the warranty that you had that you said was sick before you ordered the one you just got that I got? What's up, buddy?
What's up? Sorry I'm late.
No, you're fine. We're finishing up in just a little while, but I'm
Yeah,
sitting here doing crazy shit, but G-Ball's luckily not answering me, so I'm gonna stop sharing. I ordered another slip joint.
you've fallen down the hole with no ladder to climb back out.
No, I'm out. I think I've hit the bottom and begun to dig just a little bit, but I'm pretty well over it, I think.
Yeah.
I'm trying out a couple more that are being recommended for 37 bucks, you know. G-Ball was the one I was showing you the one. How have you been, Steve?
Good. Good week. Got some work in this week, so not too bad. Trying to
Got it, buddy. Thank you.
get some money to pay bills, you know.
We got to do
So
that, unfortunately.
I
I've been
know.
I've been dealing with all kinds of crap at work. It's not pleasant, but it's life.
Yeah. So yeah, nothing really exciting this week. I don't think I got any knives in this week.
Did you
Hoping
see
one shows up
Sawtooth's
tomorrow.
rant on Sunday? Not his rant, but his little talk. He talked about you a bunch.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think what his video was about.
He was
The
showing some mods he did. He was showing some knives that he'd gotten in.
the loaners he got in from.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's such a solid dude. I really look forward to meeting him. I missed him at Blade Show last year.
yeah. I think he's planning on going again this year.
Is he just going to do a run in and run out like he
I
did?
think. See, last year he rode his motorcycle from Arizona and he did it with his dad because his dad lives in or just outside of Atlanta, and that was as cool as because I hadn't met him in person yet. At that point, and we just talking through messages and stuff, and I was hoping to get to go to Blade Show last year, and he was like, "Hey man, if you can get here, I've got a ticket for you and a place to stay. You can stay at my dad's place with us." I'm like, I mean, that's solid. I mean, he is
He's a solid human being, man.
He is.
And I've never met him, but we've commented on each other's posts, and I just can tell he is from stories, from his personality. I mean, he's some of my must-see Sunday YouTube that I look forward to.
I know. I'll mess like if he misses a Sunday, I'll hit him up. I'm like, dude, like, you okay? Everything okay, man? Everything good? He's like, nah, I was just busy.
He's super solid.
He is, and you know what? He's as genuine as, like, I think we're all like, like we were talking last week. There was that scammer that the monster or whatever.
Yeah, monster racing.
And I think we hope everybody's good in the community and whatever, but like he is as good as they come. Like he never has anything bad to say about anybody. You know, if he does, he just keeps it like he does. There's never any, like every once in a while, I'll get a little snarky and, you know,
Well, I
I'll,
learned something about his humility when he was on Manifactions. They were doing their meetup from last time in Arizona that Satu
mm-hmm,
came to, and they let Satu be on camera, and everybody was giving Satu so much adoration about being so cool that, I mean, he messaged me afterwards, not really understanding how to take it. It kind of made him
yeah,
feel uncomfortable, you know? And I was like,
yeah,
dude, that's not at all what the intention of the people in the chat were. They were just saying, you know, that you're the man, that they appreciate you, you know? And it let me know that he's not somebody who is. I was just looking at one, Crispy. Did you see it? Oh, you can't find one. Have you ever seen Luther Knives? Do you have any good lines on those?
I want to say I have seen him. Wait, is that the
Water Knot or?
Luther? They're customs, right?
I think so. Crispy Critter's
They're
trying to acquire one.
I'm angry. Someone offered me up a pretty cool one in trade last winter, and I passed on it like an idiot. That's one, like, customs are hard, like, if you don't like it, to resell, because you have to find
Right.
that right person for that
Somebody who
custom
loves
knife.
it just as much as you. Yeah,
Yeah,
Crispy Critter says yes, custom.
yeah, and I should have, man, because I'm kicking myself now, because they are cool, but it's one of those things that it's hard to get out of.
I agree, Jeffrey. His videos are fantastic, and they're just so real. And he's so talented. I mean, the guy
Oh,
is, I mean, all y'all, most people in the community, I'd say probably 99% of the people in the community are genuine, right? It's
I'm
just the few that come through.
yeah, like some, like, you know, and there's so many, like, okay, so the community is huge in itself, and there's so many knife channels now and stuff. We're not all gonna vibe with every single channel. You're just,
Mm,
some people's personalities are, and they might be in person, like, you might 100%, but just, you get, you
And
know, just
it's
watching someone in
okay.
video, you just might not gel with their style of video or whatever.
And if just like in any community, we're not all going to get along. We're all
Oh yeah,
different, right? So, I mean, we want
yeah,
to tolerate and be accepting of somebody else's beliefs as long as they don't infringe on yours, right? As
yeah,
long as it's
yeah,
not something like that where, you know, do your thing. You know, I love you for it. It's just,
yeah. And that's what
yeah.
I'm finding.
Jeffrey, did
Like,
you see the thumb studs he did on that Project X? The scales are next level because I didn't see
yeah,
those until Sunday.
yeah, I'm getting a scale for my Project X from him, and I want to pick up another Project X just to send it to him to have the thumb studs put in. I've got the one, but it's the reserve line, which is the
You gotta,
whatever.
yeah, you can't.
Yeah, since the card has Rick's signature on it, that can't be one I mess up, because with knowing my luck, then I'd break the blade or whatever. And I don't know if they have what their warranty is like, if you can, even
Well,
if you've
and
messed with it.
that's a keeper that you can flip, right? That's one that you
Yeah,
know the value of and the rarity
yeah,
of, and it'd be crazy to mod it, even though, like you say, you could find another one probably
yeah,
and mod it. You know, have 425 in it's a lot different, knowing it's
yeah.
425 knife.
Oh, did you? I missed. USA Made Blade dropped XM18 fatties again today, and I missed it by like, I just I was home today, checked my email, saw an email from him, like, oh man.
And every time you see the email or the Instagram post, you know you're late.
Oh yeah,
Always,
you're
always.
too late.
I did
And it's
learn something today, though, that I didn't know because I was trying to figure out how fat a fatty was. And Dark Gravity, before he left, right before you came on to go to bed, but was telling me that it's basically the same dimensions as an XM24 in width.
yeah, so, and just in the XM18.
In an XM18 3.5 inch size,
See, and
right?
that would be cool.
I
I think
think
that'd
so
become,
too.
especially in the warranty. I
Oh,
think,
yeah.
like, having a little bit more beef in the tip, in case, so the tip's not so delicate.
Oh, it would be a piercer, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, I
those
saw
were so
that.
well executed. He put so much time into laying them out.
Oh, I had him. I sent and now he bought it from me. But I had a Chris Reeve in Cosi that the Chris Reeve studs. Have you ever?
They always get
just
replaced. I hear they're
just not great. I mean, but they're just not a great stud. You have to be
Does he
I have a
just
hard
love them?
time.
Because I know he's heard that for years, and it would be easy for him to change to a different stud, I would think. Or does he make those?
They do everything in house.
Okay, that's why.
So yeah, I just think that's one of their things. And that's fine. It's their company, but it's like if I could change one thing on these knives, the studs, especially when you're trying to break the knife in, I mean, it's just like a little pyramid, and it just kind of
rips at your thumb.
Yeah, you get this little point in your thumb, and and I've got some Sabenzas I can flick out, and some it's just getting them broken in. But like the Inkosi just is a little bit different feel. Pretty much the same knife, but it flicks real easy. Especially I had he put some just bigger studs on that had better access, and that thing I could reverse flick it, I could thumb flick it, and then he acid etched the blade for me, and then I got it back from him, carried it some, and then one day he hit me up. He's like, "Hey man, do you want to sell that?" I'm like, "Dude, you want it? It's yours." So he's got half of my collection right now. I think he's bought so many knives.
But you're keeping them in the family, because if you wanted it back, he'd probably sell it back.
Oh yeah, because like last year he was looking to get some money to go to Blade Show, so I bought a couple knives from him. One was his Sawtooth, one of his originals that he had made his first scale for, and there were some people that really wanted it, and I had just got my first one after handling his, and I'm like, oh, if there's other guys, you can let them buy me. He goes, well, if it's going to go to someone, I'd want you to have it. And I'm like, all right, man, I'll buy it. And I said, it's your knife. Whenever you want it back, you just let me know. And a couple months later, he's like, hey, man, do you care if I get that back? I'm like, dude, it's your knife. I was just holding on to it for you.
That's what I told Dark Gravity. I'm not.
Yeah.
He's making me a bro deal on that Ziva, and I said, look, dude, I'll never sell it. If you want it back, I'm just keeping it in safe keepings, and I'll carry it, and I'll mess up the clip a little bit, but that's it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I have got to close it out because Matisfaction is about to be on, and I've got to get to Taco Bell to get 2 Mexican pizzas and 3 soft tacos for Ashley and make it back in time. You going to be on there tonight, Steve? You going to watch it?
I probably will. Yeah, I'll probably bounce over and watch it for a while before I go to bed.
You got any words of wisdom for these lovely people who've stuck around?
Oh, dude, thanks for all you guys that watch us. Thank you. You should all,
go watch Steve's videos, guys. He's got great videos if you're not already subscribed.
If you just want a bunch of one takes without any editing and anything fancy and me stumbling over words, I'm your guy.
And you got a great dog, and you're a man after my own heart. I don't believe in editing either. Yeah. Guys, look out for the guy and gal to your left. Look out for the guy or gal to your right. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate over hate. Steve, I love you, brother. Love all you guys. Till we see you again next week. Peace.
All right. See ya.
See you, buddy.